I don't think I've seen an Alchemist yet today.
Yeah.
Picked no, not yet. Maybe in one of the games that we didn't cover here on the mainstream, but I don't like. It's not as high priority as.
So what do you
Well,
guys
some
think
people
about the
thought it
hero? Overrated or only?
I hate watching him.
What about the Solar Crest style?
I haven't seen it really succeed.
Which hero
What?
are you talking about?
To be honest, every
Alchemist.
time I've seen Alchemist play that Solar Crest Shadowblade / Blink style, it doesn't seem to work
What
out
about
too
Solar
well.
Crest into feeding eggs?
And feeding Ags, I mean, if they have a fun lineup to feed Ags to, then maybe.
I don't think it's that bad. I like that playstyle a lot more. I think the Manta Radiance is good against bad teams, but good teams will pressure the Alchemist from minute 1, and they won't let you get the rune at all, like ever. And he's actually not good at getting the rune.
Just like I said before, just one of those heroes that you have to totally change your whole playstyle towards. And
Yeah, but some teams are very comfortable against playing. It's like, okay, we have to fight early, but CDC does that anyway, so they don't really care.
I mean, I care enough to
would
ban it.
sneak. Yeah, but at the same time, it might have just been that Alchemist Undying game that we saw Vici play it, because they haven't played that many games at 6.85. So, you know, you can kind of ban what you see.
Well, they pick up a comfort hero form with that kind of playstyle, and they put first pick into the Tusk grab here. This comes after Vici Gaming banded out the Spirit Breaker. Bit of an awkward early first phase ban. Were they hoping to get something for themselves, if not the Tusk?
plays.
Yeah,
He
really
plays
scary.
Spirit Breaker a lot, and I think his Tusk is actually scarier though. I think his Tusk.
His
is
clock
best
was
hero.
also really nice earlier today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was insane. I think Spirit Breaker. In
Over the
case of
top.
Vici Gaming,
Maybe they're scared of like it. Maybe they want to pick anti-mage though.
They-
I think it's
5 seconds.
one of the few heroes that he's better against.
Darkseer is also still out there, and I don't know if that was maybe something they were hoping they weren't going to get that, and then a follow Spirit Breaker. I'm not too sure.
I
but-
think for Vici Gaming, they normally like Super and Burning to have quite a decent time of their own. They don't want to be interrupted in their lane, preferably. They want to be interrupted farming, and so a Spirit Breaker could actually disrupt their flow a lot. And I think that's the reason why they ban it out. But
Maybe a Night Stalker might pop up here for CDC.
Maybe
I'm calling
indeed.
it now before the opportunity is gone.
That's a scary opener from Vici.
Ember Darkseer.
it is it's one of those classic combinations, as in recently classic combinations, where you wait for the mechanism on Darkseer, Battle Fury, and Ember Spirit, and you go.
Mm-hmm.
You fight.
You can even fight a level 7 on Ember.
Yeah,
Screw,
yeah.
screw waiting for the items.
Do you think, though, that still Ember could have a hard time if he is punished early? Because he used to be touted as a hero that once
Yeah,
he had an
but-
uncomfortable start, it's just too hard to kind of
Yeah,
recover.
but how do you do that as, like, you can't pressure a safe lane that easily. It's really hard.
Unless you pull out like an aggro lane or something. If you have the luxury of being able to get, like, the Undying, and, well, they do have a Tusk, so no Spirit Breaker, though. Is there another Bruiser maybe they can get?
CDC rarely aggro tries, though.
Yeah.
They do occasionally, but it's like, I think it's... Aggro trying in general is just pretty rare nowadays.
Maybe it's time for change.
I mean, I don't disagree. I'm just saying that the teams don't do it that often.
No, I agree. I hear you there. Wyvern is going to be their second grab. The Winter Theme still kicking through here.
They probably didn't want to waste a ban on it in the second phase. Or just like, okay, whatever, we'll just pick it up ourselves.
Yeah, because if they wanted just a strictly good, more defensive kind of hero, Dazzle was still out there. Could have always snagged up, but
Yeah, you're much more scared of them getting the Wyvern than the
10
Dazzle. So
seconds
I think it's
Yeah,
okay.
Wyvern, yeah.
Winter Wyvern and Dazzle are somewhat interchangeable. Actually, they're not interchangeable. They play different. They play a lot of different purposes.
well, definitely would have been better if they had the Wyvern with a Darkseer than a Dazzle with a Darkseer.
Yeah.
So I do agree that there's probably part of it was a deny pick there. But that means that VG Gaming are dictating the draft, which I'm sure
10
CDC don't want to be in that kind of position.
I mean, they have first pick Tusk though. I think that's worth giving up. Probably worth giving up Ember and Darkseer for. Tusk is incredibly good.
What do you think we're gonna see here from Shiki versus Super? Are we gonna see?
Give him the
Bruiser?
Lina.
Well, that's not
banned,
possible. It's just
fool.
banned.
Oh.
TA. I wouldn't mind seeing Shiki TA. It's always a tried and true in their dire side.
What else is there? Queen. Queen's fine.
Shadow Fiend's still in the pool as well, by the way. Didn't get banned.
5 seconds remaining.
Does Shiki play a lot of Shadow Fiend? I think I've seen him play it like
No.
maybe a couple
No.
times, but not. it's
Lina
not
number
his comfort
1,
hero.
TA number 2. Those
Yeah.
are his 2 best heroes.
He played Viper earlier today,
Viper's fine.
Wasn't really great.
but it's a Viper.
It's one of those passive heroes. You want Shiki
Yeah.
on one of those heroes that can make some
No.
plays,
Mhm.
if possible.
Oh, I agree, 1,000%.
I mean, maybe they were just concentrating
10
on
seconds
what was the lane matchup. I was on the other stream.
Wind Ranger.
Wind Ranger. It's
5
not that great.
seconds remaining.
It felt like though it was more for. Was that when they were against the Huskar? Yeah,
Yes.
and they wanted to be able to kite the Huskar. I felt like
Didn't
the
work
Viper was
either.
for
Viper's
the
not good
Huskar.
for Huskar.
Maybe
Well,
they thought it was.
they
I don't
thought it
know.
was.
Oh,
Apparently so.
Really?
Because it was a response to the Huskar. And wouldn't you know it? Speak of the devil.
Speak of the devil.
It's gonna be
On the
coming out
other
from-
team that
yeah.
we're talking about.
Interesting.
Gaming.
Why here, though? Do you need a lane dominator that bad in the mid lane?
He's a good fighter. You don't have to put him in the mid lane. He's almost an automatic lane one if it's a half decent matchup for Viper, which almost everyone is. Also, it dissuades a queen pick, and it's also just very good versus CDEC style. I think that you want a hero that can carry a mech firstly. Darkseer probably going for mech too, but they can get like a pipe and a mech, for example. But he's like that up in front hero that you don't really want to kill. He's like Razor except better against certain teams.
And we know Super plays a damn good Razor, so
Yeah.
this does suit a playstyle that Super's very comfortable with.
Also, you can also put him on the off lane, although I don't really think that Vici will do so.
Oh,
And
ice. I don't think he'd
pressure
like that.
aggressive. Well, you can put him on burning, but
Oh,
that's not
yeah.
burning sort of hero.
Mm-mm.
But it's good to pressure aggressive. I think it like really limits snowball players from snowballing out of control. It's so hard to snowball against a Viper if it's a straight one-on-one matchup.
I'm a bit interested to see Slaughter picked it into a Viper. He's gonna get kited around.
Yeah, that's okay though. He might just be like the initiator, but they really need a damage dealer for mid then. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not that bad. I think Viper's like annoying, but he's manageable.
If they decide to go with the TA, you get great synergy between the Slaughter and the TA.
Yeah,
but you're pretty heavy on melee at that point.
TA will just get wrecked. All three of these heroes destroy refraction in like half a second, so this just not worth it. But they are dire. I think they need more follow-up though for Slardar. Like, what else is good as follow-up? I don't know. Queen's taken out. Lena is banned. Oh, actually, Queen's terrible versus Viper. Is not taken out. Lena's banned. Leshrac is.
They just
not that
banned
great
Shadow
nowadays.
Fiend.
Yeah, Shadow Fiend would have been okay too. Bristle?
Who's moving that mouse? You're annoying. Stop it.
Well, that would be God. I think.
Mr. Parker.
I would actually still like to see like a Dazzle Bristle in the movie.
Ooh, Earthshaker.
Well, you can't sprint through Fisher. You can snowball through it though, and you can fly over it if you're a Winter Wyvern.
Snowball into Echo Slam. That's the dream.
They also have sick team fight.
True.
Earthshaker is great versus Tusk. It's also good at like locking down a Slaughter because he just blinks and stuns, and then you can kind of isolate him and his team.
Yeah, great in tandem with that vacuum. Good team fight.
Slaughter is good versus Ember and Viper, I think though. Like you'll get the jump on Viper before he can strike you, and already with Amp, it's so hard to actually tank, which is what Viper's best at.
But I agree with you that they still do need some sort
They
of
need
follow-up.
more damage. Like they have Curse and Tusk and Slaughter, but no like true damage dealer. Slaughter's okay if he gets a lot of farm, but most of the time we've seen he's like super fight heavy.
What about like a Wind Ranger? Shiki known to
Wind
play
Ranger's
it?
good too. I like Wind Ranger a lot, but I don't know if
It's the anti-TA game. but
Shiki's hero pool has been
Still
a great question.
I mean, he played Viper against the Wind Ranger earlier today, so he knows how to deal with it. I guess they go for a Bristle though.
What a
Yeah.
bunch of bruisers
away,
here.
hang on,
Tusk,
hang on.
Slardar, and Bristleback all on the same team.
And I mean, on both teams, the only
I like Bristle a lot more than
melee
the
hero
TA
is a
though.
flying dragon. Or a lizard,
Hey, he
flying
plays
lizard and a
Wind
flying
Ranger,
dragon.
A reptile.
Wyvern. Sorry, I have to say that a wyvern is not a dragon.
would be a
I'm
great
so
Wind Ranger
sorry.
game.
Yeah, but well, good one.
My lore.
That's probably like the best pick. Yeah.
So Bristleback. But that's into a Viper.
No,
Is that
Bristle's-
not raise a flag at all for anyone else?
Bristle's good.
Against the
What's wrong with
Viper?
Bristle? What's wrong with that?
Gets kited.
It's okay. He has the Viper strike to kite him, which you're okay with. He's gonna get amped almost all the time, Viper, because he's like the target that has the most HP, and
has
Amp's
to-
gonna stick on him.
Has to fight through an Earthshaker, Fissure as well.
That's fine. You don't care
And
because if they have to spend spells on him, he's doing his job.
ban on the Brood. That's crazy. But also you got to remember that these big, what could be utility builds like Bristleback, you're going into a wall, which means if they get a big vacuum wall, whatever Bristleback has becomes a part of Vici Gaming's lineup.
Yeah, but you're like it's too much like
Ban
about the Bristle
out.
versus their heroes as opposed to like the big picture. Like Bristle, he runs in, he tanks a lot of the spells. I also saw early
Chinese
synergy with the
people
Winter
play
Wyvern and Winter's Curse and
Rubik.
Bristle. He like gets in a position to get
Rubik,
multiple
ban the
sprays
Rubik
on them.
boys.
You don't do that much damage during the curse because it is 70%,
But
you
yeah.
stack up the sprays a lot. And on top of that, you have the minus armor from Slaughter. And these are heroes that are going to stay alive for a long time, like Viper.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get a lot of stackage, and you also have much better Roshan potential. So it's pretty good. You also like if you goo a target with Winter's Curse, like minus armor plus the sort of damage. I think it's also like a hero that's not gonna die very easily. Like you can kind of have him up in front and do
Yeah.
whatever he wants. He's also not going to lose the lane versus Viper. So it's like what hero would you have preferred?
Yeah,
in place
Rubik's
of
a bit
those?
weak against
Like,
Bristol. That's true.
Most of the range damage dealers will lose versus the Viper. And then
I'm really curious to see what they're
Okay.
gonna pick up to try and lock that Ember Spirit down more, because at the moment I don't feel like they have enough lockdown.
I think they'll just rely on the Slardar, honestly. Like, Slardar is
Dude,
generally
he has
pretty
no
good.
armor.
He's
He's
position
gonna
1.
die.
Yeah.
Because you'll get the blink early enough before Ember can get any sort of items.
I almost want to say the silencer, by the way, was a deny pick. Only because I feel like a silencer could have been pretty good to shut down the team fight potential, locks down the Ember a bit. Could have been a bit annoying,
Silencer's
but
good to protect the Ember.
but now they take it. This comes after already CDC removed a disruptor. You don't think they need like a little bit of silence here,
For
something to
CDC,
control? Yeah.
they have enough sustain that I'm not too worried about it. Again, I think Dazzle would be really good for them. But Dazzle's been banned out, so they're not looking
There
for
you
that.
go, it's a Razor.
Razor.
So like their heroes are all these heroes that just like they don't really care if you're global silenced or if you're like Viper Strike. The fight's gonna drag on long enough for CDC.
Long-winded fights for
So
CDC.
this way they all they need to do is survive the ultimates, and then if that happens they'll win the fight. But Vici have like so much firepower in their lineup. Like good luck surviving Vacuum Wall, Echo, Global.
I prefer Vici Gaming's lineup. It's
Really, I think I like CDC's a little bit more.
I feel like
Personally.
Vici Gaming has more of a game plan behind it that I get and understand and I see working. While I feel like CDC's lineup, I mean I see the plan, but I think it's harder to execute.
It is, but I think that's their strongest point as a team is like executing lineups well together. Like they have the synergy to pull off something like this. If it were a normal team, I'd be like, yeah, Vici will probably roll them over. But CDC, I think they have a lot of physical damage. They don't really have good armor heroes on the
What-
Radiant side.
Well, we're going to be hopping into the game right now, and we'll have the answers to your questions, and we'll go ahead and throw it over to our casters right now. I was trying to get a peek over there who it is. It looks like it's OD and Gods. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you very much, Dakota. We're back here with VG versus CDEC, game 1, of course, this 2-game series. And, well, the lineups, Gods, what are we reckoning? The fact that they slipped through that final silencer, as you said, VG a bit of a fan of the hero. And Shiki's going to be on that Razor, someone that's going to be able to synergize nicely with the armor reduction and the physical damage output of CDEC's lineup.
It's almost like we're back to TI4 or something. A Razor versus Viper mid. This is a throwback lane. Not really heavily won by either of the two heroes. Maybe ever so slightly Razor favored, but a lane where you won't be seeing much action. It's been very much the trend where teams, for the most part, are putting more kind of snowbally carries mid and protecting with the support. But when it's a Razor versus Viper, we're just going to see them just kind of go toe-to-toe and trade farms. So I think the action more likely to kind of face off in the side lanes. CDEC with a lot of physical damage, great Roche taking potential. Aggressive Slider lately has been on point, so I feel like this is going to be a kind of high impact hero for them. And they've actually given XZ a safe lane. So Bristol, a hero who can dish out huge physical damage and acts as great follow-up to the Slider, and they're making sure he gets farm this game by not sacking him in the offlane.
Okay, shards come out. The fish is there from FY to make it a little bit harder for CDEC to close the gap. They're still going to close it on Super, get the crush down. They'll take the bounty rune here, and they'll just chase this one in. This should be first blood. First blood for Shiki there. So we talked about the way the Razor the Viper lane's going to go down the same time. Trying to give XZ the old run down there with the shell. Ice, of course. Being a silly Billy there and not playing under his name, but it is indeed Ice on this offlane dark seed, just to clarify for you guys at home.
Yeah, he got the bounty rune at top, so it was one bounty rune apiece, but the big victory going CDEC's way, getting a first blood onto their mid as well. So Razor didn't get a bounty rune, but got first blood. Gets a nice chunk of gold going his way, and this is going to be a great start to the game for CDEC, considering they're going for an aggro trial lane. One of Ember's biggest weaknesses is this laning stage. If he's up against a Jewel or a trial lane, he can struggle.
I mean, this top lane as well, it's not going to be that easy, surely, for XZ. I mean, Ice should have a fairly alright time up there with the Ice Shot spam.
Yes, I imagine just Ice in general playstyle, very aggressive. When he gets these 1v1 matchups, he loves to go for the outplays to try and find kills. So if XZ misplays, missteps at all, we'll see Ice go diving on in, looking for that killing blow.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, the bottom lane, the way that's going down, and the mid lane as well, this Razor versus Viper. As you said, it's going to be a fairly passive lane. We shouldn't really see anyone die here unless a super extremely overextends
He's
or
going boots first.
jumps
I like
when the
this.
static's not there. But yeah, this is the trickier for Shiki to stay on par and maybe even stay on top of super in terms of farm in the mid lane.
Yeah, and the boots just means if he ever gets close enough for a static link, you can't outrun it, so you're guaranteed to steal a lot of damage. And I think this is a much better way to itemize mid against the Viper rather than rushing a bottle. So we'll see some kind of mix-ups in the build here to help them out. Bottom lane, though, as you said, kind of this is where the aggression's most likely to happen. This is where CDEC will be looking to keep the Ember out of this lane as much as possible. And Silencer doesn't really offer much in this try versus try situation, which does make it a bit of a weak pick as far as this early game is concerned for Vici Gaming.
And Aggressive just playing it fairly safe as well there. Top lane is still pushing in the pressure, and Bernie's going to move in on bottom. I mean, if they do find like a fissure into the Searing Chains, they can certainly give it a shot, but at the same time, even if they trap Aggressive over the wrong side of the fissure, we can always see Garda come in with a snowball save as he passes over. So there is issues, and talking about issues, I mean, top lane, Ice, he's just having a field day here. He's going to surge himself up an Ice Shell as well, and XZ, he's having a mare up here. That's going to be a kill here for Ice. And, I mean, what do you do when this happens? Do you have to send one of the supports up from CDEC to help out the Bristleback in lane, or do you switch around your lane composition to deal with this Darkseer?
I think he's okay to solo versus the Darkseer. It's very much like if you haven't played that matchup before, you're going to struggle on it. It just looks like XC's somewhat uncomfortable, took too much harass needed. He went to lane with, I think, Tangos and Sal, so I just don't feel like he got maximum use out of his HP regen, because he had 6 CS with next to no regen left whatsoever. So he chewed through like 5 or 6 Tangos and a Salve just to get 6 CS, which just wasn't really cost effective for him. And he needed to get more farm out of his HP regen so he could get boots. He needed faster boots, he needed a faster like bottle, something to kind of sustain him in this lane.
Oh, these body blocks as well from Ice are beautiful. The double Ice Shell. Ice just outdoing himself here on this top lane. This is, oh, poor old Bristleback. He's just not ready for this at all. And that top lane going absolutely disastrously now for CDC.
And this is not like a off-lane hero just dying to a dual lane or tri lane. You see that happen, like if your Bristle dies to a tri lane, you're thinking, okay, that's going to happen every now and then, at least he's getting XP. And that 1v1, getting crushed this bad can be absolutely game-changing. So this is a big issue for CDEC right now, where this key hero Bristle, who they put in the safe lane to try get him more farm and XP, to kind of combine him and synergize him with the Slaughter, is just not going to come online at the right time. A lot of their draft is kind of concerned around timings, and this timing window where Slaughter's going to have like a Tread, maybe a Blink Dagger, and Bristleback's meant to have like a mech for the team, isn't going to happen.
Yeah, and as well, this mid lane, 17 for 8 at the moment on Vibe compared for 12 for 2, so even though the static links have been good from Shiki, you know, he's not having too much of a hard time here, Super, and he's keeping on top. Garda's coming down, FY just trading hits here with the Tusk. You got Q around as well, but FY just scaring both of them away here. They just can't do anything. Now with the Fissure block as well, they'll be able to tango through and get himself out of there, but just a lot of harassment coming here from the supports of VG, and this game's certainly kind of panning out to be a hard one for CDEC here in the early stages.
Yeah, it's top 3 last hits all on the Radiant side, and that's just where the aggro trialin's gone fine. Like, you haven't out-farmed Burning particularly, but at least you've kind of put him under a bit of pressure, not given him free farm, and kept the Vici Gaming supports occupied where they can't help out the other lanes. But yeah, these other lanes are just not going as well as they should have, and already we're seeing CDEC rotate their supports. They both go mid, they don't find a kill. This is where you've really got to make a lot out of any rotations you do. Q, as kind of the in-game shot caller, has got to come up with something as far as the kind of CDEC magic smoke ganks that often happen around this stage of the game.
Yeah, I mean, as you were saying, the fact that Burning's getting a decent amount of farm down here, they'd love to do something about him, especially before he hits that 6 and he's going to have those remnants out. I guess as well, he's going to be the easier kill at the moment. Mid lane, you know, they've got the Earthshaker hanging around with the Viper. That's always going to be a hard gank. And top lane, of course, the Ice with the start he's had, you're going to have a very hard time catching him out. So bottom lane, I feel, is still where you want to be kind of putting the most pressure from CDC, even though so far you're yet to find a kill against this Burning Ember Spirit.
Mid lane, FY looking to set. We saw this a lot in the last Vici Gaming series, where as soon as Super hits level 6, the rotations come in. They look for the kills off of his ultimate. Like those games, he was like playing a Lina or something. But this time around, Earthshaker just hovering around mid is getting scattered up by an Observer Ward, and that's where Super unlikely to get a kill off of this. Actually throws out a Viper Strike as well.
Shiki, yeah, he's going to be fine. No damage left on the Viper. Top lane, nice rotation here from Aggressive. They might find the kill onto Ice. He'll pop the charges, drops the wall though, and now it's them that have got to be careful here. They can't really chase it back with the wall. They're going to go for it anyway. Aggressive's got to be, he's probably going to go down, and he will. They do get the kill onto Slaughter. So the trade there, the Darkseer for this, I think they'll be fine with that. VG and okay, FY with the invis. Well, makes it a 2-for-1, and VG, they're going to be happy even though they lose ice.
That was the Slider was bottom with the tri lane, then sprinted back to base to heal up, and then that was his rotation. It was like, okay, we're not going to rotate the supports. Let's rotate the Slider unexpectedly to the top lane for a kill there, and ISI's getting a trade out of it. It's just a huge turnaround, and not to mention the 1-for-1 trade. Then you also get the follow-up kill for your Earthshaker, who suddenly hits level 4. That's just problem surmounting for CDEC right now.
We're going to have Garda start to stack up those Ancients, so Bristleback has got something to farm as it comes around. But yeah, at the moment, VG going to feel very comfortable, and Super's farm in the mid lane. Looking fairly nice. I imagine is this again where, I guess you're the Darkseer, so does the Ice go for the mech this game, or do you think Super might pick that one up for the side?
Like Ice, he's already got the component.
Okay,
I think Super can go for like a fast Midas if he wants to, and transition more towards late game items, get an SMY perhaps.
Top lane is Q alright there. It was okay. Saw a bit of aggression from Ice, trying to move in with the shell. They have got 3 heroes up in our CTC. I think they realise they need some kind of help, and well, that's going to be Nexies. Might be a bit of trouble. He can turn us around with the snowball though. Burning still yet to be level 6. Hasn't got a remnant to escape to, and the Quill Sprack stays at 5 at the moment. Exy will be held back by, in fact, the shards of Garda there. And okay, now Garda may pay for his sins. He's been hit by the Fisher. Trying to move in for the Shard Totem Aftershock proc. Won't be able to find it, but an unfortunate shards there for the side of CDEC, holding Bristleback away from getting that final Quill Sprays onto Burning, and Burning lived.
So, keeping Burning alive. He's also right back to lane after a TP home, refills his bottle, Remnant's back in, so he's well and healthy. And top lane, Tower goes the way.
Oh boy,
does get denied, it looks like, but even so, it's such an early tower that gives a bit of gold to your team. You take over this dire jungle that much faster, and Ice is now only 400 gold away from him.
As well. He's just not afraid of just trading with aggressive, just going straight in.
And just forcing out those crushes. It means aggressive now doesn't have mana unless he wants to pop through his mango, so you do that again, and suddenly he's got a mango to crush out of there, or you just get a straight up kill. So just constant aggressive play from Ice. And he's got more than enough sustain. Arcane Boots and Soul Ring. Good luck. There's no hero on this dire side that can match up against the Darkseer. Even a Razor, you can't. He's not going to let you just static link damage away from him. So there's no one you can really send top safely to farm. You're just going to get bullied regardless against the Darkseer.
And Ice's efficiency as well at this point. He's on 4.1k gold here. You know, it's 2.7 being the highest on aggressive Slider over the side of CDEC. It's expected for Darkseers to farm fast, but Ice certainly showing us how it's going to be done with. It's almost going to certainly be around a 10-minute mech here for the man.
Yeah. So, looks like with the lane ward, any rotations from him will be spotted. But yeah, mech likely completed soon. Did he even buy it? Okay,
No,
it doesn't look like he's...
Still just waiting on the recipe gold.
Okay, so still a little bit of a ways to go. And Super, the mid lane, has not revealed anything too much yet. Just Treads, Wand, Aquila. Very just cheap, cost-effective items. Gets him up to 1100 HP, so he's nice and tanky now, and not really an easy gank. This is the big thing. At CDEC, when they're behind, or even when they're ahead, at this stage of the game, 10 to 15 minutes in, this is when they chew through smokes, go for a lot of pickoffs, really try and, even without like a blink on a Slider, just by a snowball into a crush, they'll be able to find kills on the map, so tanking up as much as possible. And this is, I think, a big reason why Vici wanted to pick Viper, because Viper peaks at the right time to fight, and fight well against CDEC with their playstyle. He's a great fighting hero, as Molini mentioned, and makes it very difficult for CDEC to get anything done on the map.
I mean, in terms of kind of the game going later and later, do you feel that there's a certain team that's going to have the edge? Is it always going to be the Ember Spirit, or do you feel that the Slider, even as it goes later, as long as he's got the catch potential, can find the Ember, they should still be able to burst him down with the Winter's Curse?
CDEC have the kind of superior carry numbers. They've got 3 good kind of solid late game carries. On the Vici side, you've got just Ember and Viper. I don't even know if you could really classify Viper as a great late game carry. As much as they've got fewer carries though, Darkseer is just a big team fighter. Like the actual team fight spells is far superior on the Vici gaming side, having Shaker, Silencer, and Darkseer. You're looking at big, high-impact teamfight ultimates. On the Dire side, you've got just the Winter Wyvern. The follow-up for the Blink Slider Crush is not all that impressive, so I feel like late game, it does favor Vici gaming despite having fewer carries.
Mid lane Fish to set this up as they move into Shiki. Vacuum back as well. Razor is incredibly dead. There's a nice movement there from VG. Secures themselves the kill on Shiki.
Burning doesn't even have to come to fight.
They're going to fight for more
being.
here. I mean, look at this. CDC coming in. I mean, Exy's just going to get chased down here in the trees. He eats a mango as It's going to be his last for a while as they'll take down the Bristleback here as well to get a second kill in the mid lane. And I mean, CDEC had to be very careful of the bodies they're throwing at VG, because at this point, VG is just going to run them back at you, and they're going to be able to hit a lot harder than CDEC are. And Wyvern's actually sticking around here. The Fish is going to catch him, and the vacuum down here from Ice. That's beautiful. Now with the wall as well. They'll Iron Shell up the illusion, and nearly gets Q, 15 HP. It was a flashy attempt there from Ice. He'll get himself back out though now as Shiki gets the static link down, and unfortunately didn't get the kill, and if he had, that would have been a very pretty one.
they use every trick in the book to try to get the Wyvern, but with that, they'll be repelled, but they're just straight back to farming. Aggressive actually.
Nearly got it.
Yeah, he's nearly got it, and importantly, doesn't look like he'll get caught out here. Vacuum available, but didn't get vision.
Good, yeah, good job as well, because that was the Blink Dagger gold. So he's got that on him. Let's see if he's able to do anything with the reveal.
You've got to just smoke up, take 2 or 3 heroes. It looks like Wyvern, Tusk, you can see here, they've got smokes. They were just waiting out for this slide up blink, and they're going to chew through smoke after smoke after smoke. I don't give it 3 to 4 minutes, and I don't think CDC will have a smoke left this game. And that's their really only option right now, is because they've had such a bad early game and they don't scale well into the late game. They've got to make use of these right now. They also don't want to smoke as 5, because then it becomes too obvious and too easy for Vici Gaming to avoid. So they leave Bristle bottom. They actually don't bring Shiki along. He's going to stay mid. Not a great hero to really gank with in general. So this is kind of the right movement for CDEC. It's just going to be a question of whether they go bottom, mid. Where do they think those kills are going to present themselves? Because they haven't got vision up anywhere on the map to really scout out Vici Gaming heroes.
Yeah, and I like this as well from FY and the Shaky backs up. So Vici now, they're ready. They're smoked up themselves. They want to try and find something. So it's going to be a battle of the mids here. Only the mids being revealed here. Search for from Ice. They're looking to go on to Shiki, but of course CDC are here. Can they get in time to defend? They can. Cold Embrace down on Shiki. Now your snowball straight across the fight, but they make his pop by VG. FY pops the Echo Slam. They'll look for Garda first. They'll get the Tusk. Now they'll try and chase for more. Super now with a slow onto Q. The Arctic Burns run out. He can't run over the trees anymore. Burning comes in with the Searing Chains combinations. They'll get themselves a double kill here for Burning. Aggressive tries to look for a crush, but he doesn't actually connect on anyone. Burning just giving Shiki the run down here with the Flame Guard. VG incredibly low. They've got to be careful of these Quill Sprays. They have lost FY here. They melee super as well, but no, they turn. The Searing Chains control XE. Ultra kill for Burning. Only aggressive on the Salada, keeping his life at the end of that fight, and just bang on play there from Vici. Very cleanly done. The only issue was the fact the Quiz were great. No, Burning's back. Ooh, unlucky with the change there. May have just been in time to find a Rampage as well, but yeah, this is not good when you're giving a Burning an ultra kill at 14 minutes, and an Ember that's had pretty much free farm for the beginning of the game as well.
The Iron Shell Ember at this stage of the game is just beastly, and that's where CDC are like, well, we've got to smoke now and try and take the fight. By no means the wrong play from them as far as the overall strategy goes, but Burning was just ready. He's like, I'm going to TP in should a fight happen, and it was the perfect snare for CDEC. If they had actually initiated onto the Viper there, they would have been team wiped instantly, because Viper is just too tanky, too durable. Vici Gaming went on them, which gave Slaughter the perfect opportunity to hit a 3-man blink for us.
You're going to need to burn yourself out. Nice, be careful. Shiki is there.
Okay.
Standing him down now. Keep his backed up as well. Femre is on 10 intel at the moment. Not bad here for the silencer.
For support, he's probably pretty happy.
Yeah.
And these are heroes on the dire side losing intel, which can't really afford to. Like, Slider's already got a pretty small mana pool. Razor can kind of suffer as well. Not going to see a mech, it looks like, from him. Bristleback, I imagine he was actually on the receiving end of a lot of that with 5 deaths. Is also somewhat mana dependent, so it does hurt them losing those intel points.
I mean, I guess the question is, as well at this point on ISOSS, he saved us 1600 gold. Does he need the blink this game, or do you think he'll just go for the Greaves straight up early?
He's going to go both. It's just a matter of which order.
Yeah, which he gets first.
Most Darkseers almost always go for the blink first, even when they're against an Orchid or something, just because you can normally position yourself far enough back to get a good blink initiation off. But we'll see. This game, there's no Orchid. It's the Slider amp damage being the main spell he can get rid of.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen how on point the vacuums have been from ISOSS, so you can imagine, yeah, if he gets a blink online as well, the Wombo combo is just going to be beautiful with FY as well on that Shaker. Even with just Burning passing through and getting a couple of Searing Chains down after the vacuum wall combo's been dropped.
Vici just straight up 5-manning here. I think they feel like, yeah, CDEC are at the stage of the game where they want to fight us and they're going to use their smokes. And the best way to play against a smoke ganking team trying to get back in the game is 5-man. So they've itemized into, I mean, the mech, which is going to always be an obvious pickup, but the drums from the Viper, another kind of early 5-man oriented item. The Boots of Travel for Burning means he can come and take part in any fight on the map. So very much trying to deal with what they know and expect from CDEC, which is that 10 to 15 minute smoke gank, 5-man Dota, and they're just going to prevent it.
Smart stuff here from Aggressive. Goes straight away. Burning was looking for the chains cancel, but A little bit slow, unfortunately, but it was a good attempt nonetheless. But the fact that the aggressive needs to play safe now, he's got to kind of stick with his team when he's looking to fight. Because they can still take these engagements. We've seen already how much damage the Bristol can do on the front lines with the Quill Sprays. It's just a matter of keeping the team alive so they can follow through with that damage and actually finish off the heroes on the side of VG.
If they hit a good 2-3-man crash, get a good Winter's Curse off, you're looking at CDEC easily capable of taking a team fight, but the counter play that the Global Silence can offer just makes it so hard to get that combo. You're unlikely to ever catch Silence.
There we go. They're going to try and go for Super. Ice trying to move into position. The Winter's Curse has been dropped down as well on Super. Can they keep the Viper alive? Oh, the vacuum was beautiful! Gets four of them. XC walks it in, does manage to find Super on the Viper, but now the cleanup potentially coming in from Ice. He's chasing down Shiki here with the Iron Shells. That should be a dead Razor. Blinks forward as well. Double kill for Ice. Echo slams the face of XC, so 4 heroes down on CDEC. And Ice, this man, I think he deserves to be able to call himself whatever he wants in this game because he is playing goddamn insane.
That was nuts. And we asked about the Blink versus the Greaves, and I think the Blink proving why every Darkseer normally goes Blink before Greaves. That was just insane.
That was insane. Yeah, as I said, imagine what he could do with a Blink.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
If he has a Greaves there, that doesn't happen.
No.
So, Vici Gaming in an even better position. I think if the Global comes off like half a second earlier, they may even save Viper as well. It was slightly ever so late. They needed to Global before the Winter's Curse, but I mean, Vici Gaming so far ahead. CDEC used their full initiation just to catch and kill one hero, and it's the tankiest of the Vici side. The hero that can also damage and slow them with the corrosive, so that was never going to work well for them.
I mean, it's just, I really feel just the Darkseer as a hero, it was such a genius pick this game as well. I mean, you look at CDEC's lineup, you know, they set up something with the Winter's Curse, certainly with the Bristleback, the Tusk, and the Slardar. They're going to try and move in and help kill the hero that's been put under the effects of Winter's Curse, and it's kind of just working against the team because it's drawing your attention towards a closed point that the Darkseer's just going to jump in with a vacuum and capitalize on every time.
And it's not going to get any better. You haven't really got good heroes to counterplay the Darkseer. You can't really jump on, kill him before he goes on you. I mean, there's a Blink Crush, but the follow-up for the Blink Crush is a Winter's Curse. So you can Blink Crush and then Winter's Curse, try bring down the Darkseer during all this, but the burst damage potential isn't there. You've got Bristleback and Razor, who are both kind of core heroes who want to have long, drawn-out fights. Razor gets a nice static link off. He's normally fairly tanky and durable. Similar story for Bristleback. It's all about getting 4, 5, 6 quill stacks off. So they can't. They're not looking to take a fight in short fashion. That's just where Darkseer's almost always going to survive and get off his spells.
And Isaac, how much money was he sitting on the bank now? He was closing in on the Greaves, isn't he? Yeah. This is going to be absolutely terrifying. I mean, we saw in that position, as you said, maybe the Global Silence came out early, they'll be able to sell Super. Next time, if they've got the Greaves next to him, they won't even need that. Super's not going to die even if everyone jumps on him like they did before.
Yeah, man, he's happy just to take a few more fights here, grouping up as 5 once more, and they've got to be thinking, like, we have got the ultimate 5-man lineup now. They actually showed Burning top. I think this is a bit of a ploy because they left a Remnant behind, so he's going to push out this lane, probably Remnant right back, and then make a jump towards this bottom lane. Kind of a sneaky little tactic. He's even going to keep pushing it as far up as possible, push the limit.
They're reacting to it with this smoke.
I don't know if they'll get here
Can they catch him? What have they got in terms of control? They've got the Crush and they have got the Curse as well.
Yep,
they've got a fair bit of physical DPS, but Remnant's out straight away.
As soon as he cleared the way. This was always going to be the plan. Like, either draw heroes top or bait CDEC into a false sense of security at bottom lane. They may think, oh, we can take a 5v4 bottom. Burning just TP top, so either way it was going to be a great move from Burning. He either gets his team a team fight at bottom lane, or he just forces unnecessary CDEC rotations up top.
And the bottom tier 1 as well should be a free one for the taking from Vici as they move in for this. More money in the bank here to the side. I mean, in the overall graph, what kind of difference are we seeing 20 minutes in? It's got to be pretty painful, yeah. Coming up to 10k, so a sizable lead, and a lead that hasn't been turned around at all yet this game, favouring the side of CDEC. They're still holding out for that one fight, but they're going to be able to come out on top, but it's going to be hard to do when you're just factoring in Ice's Darkseer in every fight. In the fact, there we go. It's going to be the Greaves now, 20 minutes in on top of that Blink for Ice.
Tusk is trying to get what farm he can up top. Gata recognizing that they need a mech of their own to just kind of stand a chance of any kind of a team fight here. And again, we see Burning just off-split pushing on his own. Will come back should he be needed by the Remnant. So if CDC want to catch him, not by doing that. If they want to catch him, it's got to come from anticipating where he's going to TP and being there already. They can't see him TP somewhere on the map and then run across the map or like respond to it. They have to just anticipate and kind of mind game where he's moving next. And based on like what farms are available on the map, you can do that. the biggest issue is always going to be, like, there's no 2-hero combo that can kill him. It's always going to take minimum 3 heroes to kill off Burning, which becomes too obvious. Like, he's not going to go TP to a lane when there's 3 heroes missing who have been missing for a while and maybe setting a trap. If they had, like, a Slaughter plus Lina or a Slaughter plus TA or something, then you can blow them up with those 2 heroes. Like, again, here they have 2 heroes.
They're going to give it a shot.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay, I mean, let's see if they've got the control. With the snowball as well, they're going to bring him incredibly close, but Global Silence comes out. He gets himself away with a Remnant, and
that was actually a late global too. They got everything off, like the Walrus Punch and all. Like there was no spell they didn't get off.
I mean, I guess they were just scared that there was like a wyvern hiding in the tree line or something with a curse waiting to follow up.
Not a bad global.
Oh no, yeah.
It's more to signal that they couldn't actually kill him.
Yeah, with just the duo.
It was never gonna. They never had the damage they needed to. He's got enough small items with the Poor Man Shield, the Ring of Aquila, the Magic Wand that he's seeing on 1100 HP, and it's going to be 3 heroes, and it's just going to get too obvious. So for now, Vici Gaming kind of playing the farm battle. They're going to get FY's.
Stop lane. Is he looking for a solo kill on the Tusk? He had an Invis rune. He's just going to give him the Invis Flame. Oh, oh man. He drops a sentry, but Garda. He's. Okay. I think he's still good.
Fire Remnant him. Aggressive Fire Remnant? What's
okay.
Fire Remnant for?
Alright. Burning having some mercy. Mercy from Burning.
What
a nice guy.
Nice. Must not be an Ember Spirit player.
He's just taking it easy. Doesn't want to make him look too bad. Okay, there's a TP coming in here. They want to go for XZ. Burning says, I'll let your Tusk live, but well, let's do something else about this Bristleback. He's trapped in the corner. The Quill Sprays are doing quite a lot here. Super will actually go down. Aggressive now with the Blink Crush. Might be there with the turn of the Rooster's Curse as well. There's a nice vacuum back, and now the Greaves coming out from Eyesight Stars. He says, guys, can you stop screwing up down here? FY will go down though still. Eyesight Stars trying to move in and trying to rectify this fight for the team. He will manage to find the kill here. Burning's trying to remnant away from Shiki, chasing him through the forest. Might still get the kill on Ember, and he will. It's a double kill for Shiki. And Eyesight Stars is just left on his own by the wall going, what the hell happened, guys?
This is a big streak too,
I think. Oh, no. They're going to get this kill, aren't they? Yep, they are. Plasma Field to the backside of Eyesight Stars. Triple kill for Shiki. And
I think you get one more.
Vici just falling apart in that fight there. Yes, oh my goodness. Just getting tunnel visioned in that corner. The Quill Spray's building up. And the fact that there was the follow-up from that crush from Aggressive. Some really nice reactions from CDEC, and they're going to be very happy that Vici just kind of played into their hands there.
Huge gold swing going the way of the Razor of all heroes. Suddenly has enough money for a BKB in a second, and I mean, like you say, tunnel vision onto a Bristleback, the Blade Mail combined with the Quill Sprays. He's just tanky enough that was just a terrible way for Vici to go in on. Burning choosing the wrong hero to have mercy on. It should have been the Bristleback at bottom you let live and take the kill at top, but CDEC, I mean, that's swung things fairly dramatically. It's like almost 5,000 gold swing during that period.
That was it. That's quite a swing indeed. And the fact that Shiki was able to clear up off the back of that as well is going to be really nice here for the Razor. But yeah, just
underestimating the power of how much damage Bristle can do before he dies there. Because very much I'm looking at that like, it's probably fine. Like Bristle's tanky, they'll take some damage, but they'll kill him fast enough to get out. Like they're so far ahead, and Vici Gaming can recognize how far ahead they were that they felt they could just go for a kind of ballsy kill like that, but didn't work.
Nice, bless him. Just doing his best trying to save the team fight.
Come on, guys.
It was a lovely Greaves at the end, and he tried to drop the wall to help, but it wasn't enough. But still, nonetheless, Vici with, I'm maintaining the fact that they've got, of course, the Blink now and the Shaker, so something else to offer to these fights.
And there was a Midas pick up on Aggressive, so he's going back looking to secure the lake. And this is where like you're playing from behind, and you pick up a Midas, it's very much saying, look, we're just going to look to stall the game out and not take any 5v5 fights. Like that fight down there was very much like that fight just played into their hand. They're going to smoke up now, but again, they're not looking for a 5v5. They're looking for like a value pickoff, and then they'll back off to keep on farming.
I mean, Super is fairly tanky. Yeah, looks like they're going to go towards the top then. They'd love to find Burning.
They know someone's likely to kind of... They don't want to give a free tower to a Bristleback at this stage. Really did enough in that last fight, so... The question is if they get scared of something like Vici Gaming taking a Roshan that they want to
look at this, they might get a good wrap around on Vici, because Vici are fairly far out over onto the dark side of the map, but they actually smoked up themselves, some of them.
And this smoke is going to wear off on the CDEC side.
Let's see who runs into who. Shiki, CFY.
Wear off himself. Neither team going to catch anyone. Direward at top will spot Burning's rotation up here. wonder if CDC will go for this.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, Burning comes out with his Creep Wave.
There's been these 4 heroes have been missing from the map for about 2 minutes.
And Burning realizes that he's playing so.
He will not go anywhere. Like, there is no carry player in the world playing on like a tier 1 team who's going to show himself on them. Who's going to go like farm here when there's been 4 heroes missing for over a minute.
Yeah, so he does the smart thing now. Just boots the Travels in to join the team, ready for the push onto the tier 2. Realizing that Vici still have a very, very nice fight potential with that Shaker. Just gonna get the chains off onto Shiki. They don't want to just follow through on that one. They want to maybe try and force more back here.
And CDEC didn't even get that top tier 1 tower. That's the other kind of important thing to note right now. Is it was just a whole lot of wasted time for them, where they had 4 heroes sitting at that Radiant secret shop, not really achieving all too much. Not even getting, still very healthy tier 1.
Alright, aggressive, we'll just blink away here. Shaker was just coming in to see if he could catch someone out. So they do still, with the tier 1, could have set up a TP in from, I remember even just Burning to just find the kill if the chain lock was there from Shaker.
Yeah, pretty kind of classic play. Hero like Shaker, TPs to the tier 2, blink, Echo Slam, and then while you're doing that, someone TPs onto the tier 1. So, well worth it for any core hero right now. Let's just go back. So now Vici Gaming slowing things down. That last fight is a wake-up call for them that can't just get too aggressive and go for kills, which are just not really all that feasible.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as you just saw on the graph, pretty much gave away half of the lead, so they do that again. They're going to be back to kind of square 1 here with the side of CDEC, which, they do want to try and maintain some kind of a lead here at the moment.
And for CDEC, they'd love to try and get into the roasted at some point soon. They've got plenty of physical damage on their lineup to take it out. It's all going to be a matter of finding the right timing where either Vici Gaming commit a TP to the top lane, can't contest it, or just somehow they get a pick off or 2. If they can smoke, get a kill or 2, and then go into the pit, that would also work wonders for them.
Mid lane again, Vici. I want to try and finish off this tier 2 moving forward with Burning. So less than 50% health. Got to go have Shiki coming in here. And now the TPs from the side of CDEC. They're ready to fight. They've got 4 men mid. Make that 5 now with this TP coming through from the Bristle. The shards will come out, trap up Super and Burning. They're going to move in with the snowball onto Super, but there's the vacuum and the wall onto 3. BKB comes out from Shiki, gets the Static Link off, but it's going to be broken now, and CDC have to be careful how long they stick in this fight for. Aggressive looking for the wraparound. It's just going to control FY, make sure that he can't get in with that Echo Slam for the time being. The shards as well, holding him back. CDC playing this very safely, making sure they don't group up. They've got to still be very aware of that Shaker initiation if it comes through.
CDEC played that, as you said, very safely. They actually tried to initiate because they saw the Shaker top. Shaker was waiting for a trap there.
Again the vacuum onto 2. The Fisher comes up, but it doesn't connect with the stun here. Aggressive blink forward with a very aggressive slivering crush. And now with the snowball onto Fenrir, the Roar's punch as well. Bring them low. The Guardian Cruiser be popped. There's a Winter's Curse now to Burning. Can they kill Burning in time? No, Remnant's out. There's your Echo Slam. They brought down the Tusk here. Viper trying to work away at XE, but the Cold Embrace is there. XE's going to be fine. Now Shiki and the gang chasing down the rest of Vici. XY surging up Super. He's going to be able to get himself out of there. It looks like it will just sell off as a 2-for-1, but a 2-for-1 nonetheless, favouring CDC. And they're going to get this blink in. Oh, he goes for the prediction play, gets it wrong. Super turns around with a 5-stroke again. Ice with the 3-man vacuums, and now Burning with the cleanup, with that Battle Fury. Runners forward. He's going to look for Sheikah. There's going to be a Cold Embrace that says Q. He says save yourself. Q's Arctic Burning off to the tree lines. Ice trying to be hot on his trail here. I don't think he'll find him. Q will survive, but they do lose Shiki there on the Razor off the back of that, giving the dominating streak to Ember.
It was such a good fight for CDEC until that blink crush. And very much a prediction play that even if he gets it, the same thing could still have happened there. I don't think he would have enough damage to bring down Super by himself, or and the follow-up so far back. And Ice was always ready for that blink back.
Goes for this, the tier 2's down, the vacuum back onto XV. I don't think this man gets out of this one, and he does a Super now on a killing spree, picking up another kill here for the team. And it's just in these longer kind of engagements, as you said, where CDC just kind of throw heroes back in when really they just need to hold on and wait for the full 5-man before going in again.
They're so good for the 90% of that fight. They play incredibly patient. They prevented FY. First they initiate because they see him top. Then they had this ward here on this hill that's now expired, which they saw him coming. So Slider aggressive prevents him from getting to the fight for a fissure or an echo. And then it's only once they start winning the fight that they get just overzealous and keep going for more. I think they realize, oh, we're trying to win the fight, we have a numbers advantage, and they just get too cocky. After they do all the hard work, they just don't do the easy part, which was just to back off and continue farming. Especially when you've got these Midases. You've got a Midas on Slider, you can scale well into the late game. A bit unnecessary.
Aggressive just scaring away Burning here again. I mean, what's he got now on top of his Battle Fury Burning? Crystals as well, okay.
starting to get scary. And it's not really a game where he needs like a...
Man, may very well be a dead man. Living King is just gonna save him. Okay, he's out. Lucky man. F1 just going up, so you can find the vision for the fish, and he does. They're found cute. Can they get themselves over there? Oh, the slide from Burning. Very smoothly done there from the man. Just across the tree line. Easy kill.
Not push on it, looks like here. CDEC not even really finding trades. They're not going to pop up to mid lane, but not a kill they can go for. Just a hero looking to defend the tier 1 mid. And Vici Gaming is so confident they can push down bottom, and Darky doesn't even bother sticking around.
I mean, the farm is just insane for the guys on Vici. The fact that you've got 3 heroes on above 12k net worth at the moment. ISO size now 3.5k. I mean, what do you think he goes for? Does he need a Hex, or is it just Shivas this game for the man?
Shivas is fantastic.
Yeah.
Because of the physical damage. You've got 3 physical damage core heroes. Shivas gives you armor and the aura as well, which is fantastic. I see this lineup. He's picked up a physical stuff. I don't think Hex is really going to offer anyway neither.
It's not really necessary either when he's kind of running straight at them. And with the Roshan, when they've got the Aegis, they just look to try and push. Maybe we'll try for a high ground. There's still the tier 2 left to be taken on the top lane. So they'll prioritise that one first. Burning out enough money to pick up that Demon Edge. Start to complete that Aegis. Do so. And probably get the Aegis for them. Burning will pick up the Demon. Oh, hello mid lane. We're going to have a Blink initiation coming in from FY. And there's the follow-up vacuum wall. Maybe having been popped by CDEC. And they're going to be able to walk it off. Okay, so that is now the wall and the FS slammed down, and nothing of too much found there from Vici.
Starks is fun, so I don't think he's likely going to want to stay around. He's probably not going to attack around. But very much like you see teams pick up Aegis, they don't normally rush to push high ground, and unless there's like a big ulti or a hero down on the other side. So Vici Gaming likely just to finish off their next 4 items. Super's 700 from an Aghanim Scepter, Ember, I think just what, 400 from Daedalus now. Silence. Not sure what that global silence was for. Am I missing something? Maybe they ran into like an illusion and thought they had an illusion kill.
Did they find Burning? I thought, no, Burning was just farming top anyway, wasn't
I think aggressive maybe keep it out or something there. Okay, so may have been to a safe. Well, global gets put on Clan. But again, they're not really looking to fight right now. They haven't got walls. They're also close to Shivers. So I think the Shivers...
Why going in on some? He's got Burning coming through as well. Do they have the detection? They don't, and they want to follow mid lane. There's a bit of a fight going on as well. They found XZ. And they know that with that reaction to that bottom bit of fun, XZ's on his own.
Before, yeah. I'm convinced by this.
Okay, yeah.
XZ alone. So yeah, Daedalus coming out and
So much damage. If they get that vacuum combo off again, it's the sleight of fist is just gonna be absolutely disgusting.
they've got great synergy around the back of both Ember and Shake on their side. CDEC actually smoke up now. Not often you see a team smoke into an Aegis. They want to go all in, and the slider.
Oh dear. Unfortunately, there with the Blink Crush. Now Aggressive might be in trouble if they want to follow through. Burning. Starting up the situation. There's a 2-man vacuum ball. Gets Exy and Shiki. Not one of the flashiest, but it's going to force CDEC to back off. Question is, can VG chase this one down? Moving forward here. Actually, we'll whiff the change there.
So, in the world, and that's one of the great uses of sleight of fist. Is use it on a creep wave, and then they were waiting there, so your body actually pops the smoke, and then you're back in safety with the slide. Vici Gaming, not the most polished team fight that followed, despite revealing the smoke getting. Ultimately, they find themselves still ready and able to push here. The Aghanim Scepter will be coming out in a second.
Oh, FY, he's got an Echo Slam.
That's what it is.
Alright, and now Garda looks for the TP out. The Aftershock proc's going to be there with Enchant Tome, and FY making the plays. This is his little bit of time to shine this game. And they'll be able to clean up Garda as well. Sleight of Fist from Burning. Gets himself a killing spree. And again, I mean, overall, Shaker's play this game's been very nice. He's found himself 13 assists. He's been very active across the map. Got a very good timing on the blink. And he's done a lot and made a lot of things happen with it this game.
Being very much on point, and only really, I'd say outside of Eyesight Size, he's really one of the key components for our team. And it's also the nature of the hero. You're never going to say, oh, Viper's just played so well and done so much to carry his team. It's a Viper, like super.
He did his job in lane, you know.
It's not a flashy
Yeah,
hero. He's not going to. I don't think you ever like look at a Viper and say, oh, Viper.
No, I think we kind of expect it with the Viper Razor lane. We're kind of like, oh, that's going to be the lane where not a lot happens. on. I mean,
Even like mid to late game, there's probably not a lot happening. They'll right click from time to time. They'll be in the front lines, tanking up damage. So Shivers and Aghanim Scepter, these are all the items I was kind of talking about before they push. They've only got about a minute window with Aegis, but Ag Scepter, Shivers, and the Daedalus. I think Vici Gaming will at least take a prod at the high ground while they've still got a minute left and these key items picked up.
absolutely. What's the overall difference in terms of net? Was it over about 15, is it? Coming up to 12. Yeah. Okay, so totally rectified that kind of slip up that they had towards the after portions of the mid game and very much back on top of Vici.
Actually, no, just going to go for a complete farming Aegis. They're not really grouping up at all now, and a lot does go back to the fact they have got the superior late game. Despite CDEC having 3 decent late game cores, they're all kind of going for these mid game items, so like an XP Bristle is not going to scale well. Height as well as Blade Mail, Slaughter.
We did get the Midas, but
yeah,
it's been slow for aggressive this game.
He's itemizing much more towards the late game BKB, likely seeing like an AC after that. And then the Razor himself, BKB Yasha. He's actually the most farmed hero on the CDEC side. No surprise considering he got that like one team fight at bottom where he got 2k gold out of it. But he needs a lot this game. He's going to need, I think, bonus armor at this point. So either an AC or a Shivers to follow whatever he's getting out of this Yasha. May even just be a casual Yasha, but either Shivers or AC could fit him pretty nicely here.
Smoke time from the side of Vici. The ping's coming out throughout the jungle. See if they can find anyone here. Top lane, you have got both Aggressive and, of course, Tusky hanging about. And FY looking to set it up for the team. Aggressive with the blink to the side. He's got to make these movements smartly here. Okay, whiffs the Echo Slam. They may still just find him. They've got the Fisher here. It was a zoning Echo Slam. They still get the kill.
Yes, exactly. Pushing him into Super and Ice's waiting arms. And I feel like FY they're just having a bit of fun, trying to like make a flashy play. And
yeah, with the blind blink Echo, yeah. He wanted to try for it.
You didn't even need the Echo as well. I guess, and possibly worried about a TP and the Echo being the instance.
Oh, yeah.
Going for star points and ends up, back.
24 for 10 in VG. CDC, I mean, when it comes to kind of high ground defense, I mean, is it really there? I guess they've got stuff like the Winter's Curse to maybe set up initiation from the Bristle and the Slardar to follow through, but it's going to be so hard with just VG's counterfight, with the vacuum setups that we've been seeing time and time again from my side. It just at this point just feels that it really shows that VG's draft was just a little bit stronger than CDC's this game.
Oh yeah, really the mid game especially.
BKB out here from Shiki.
Okay.
No, he is definitely trapped. He's the ball has been dropped as well, just in case he walks around as well.
That was awkward. I didn't know they could get there. Yeah, with that tree there. This
yeah, that little gap.
So, no gap to the side. Again, Vici will just continue sieging these. Really have an Mantle Illusion. Aggressive, just trying to really push the limits of his hero as far as getting farm right
He's
now.
nearly got his BKB, bless him. He's nearly got it. 200 gold in an
When he died, he was so close as well. That's where that timing for that game for Vici Gaming. That's where it was well worth using an Echo Slam, but
Global Silence, so they want to jump in top, but it's actually not going to buy enough time because FY was the one that CDC initiated on here. So they lose the Shaker. Let's see if CDC can clean up more here. They're going to start to chase down Super. There's a snowball thrown through as well, and this could be big for CDC if they can pick this up, and they will. There's no help for Super. A second pick-off in quick succession from CDC, and just a couple of heroes out of place, and a lot of money going the way of CDC, as you're pointing out here. 5k on the Razor. That's going to be the BKB finish now for the Slaughter as well. And VG with kind of the lead they have, they've got to be very careful about throwing away these very high-value kills.
3,000 gold swing going CDC's way, and then 12k gold deficit's sizable. But
It's recoverable.
Yeah, 40 minutes in, it's just getting smaller and smaller. CDC are finding some necessary core items for themselves. Talk about the armor for Shiki. He's now picked up the plate mail, so we will see. Yeah, it will be an AC, which is worth the money to complete now. And they're going to pressure this Q1 tower. This is a risky tower to go for, though. Take it back.
And here's Ice with the 3-man vacuum wall. There isn't any follow-up for the time being. We've got Burning now moving in, so they can chase anyone down on the back foot. They get the change onto XE. Fisher follows through onto Garda and Shiki. Thinking about giving him the rundown here, but XE's fairly tanky with his pipe as well. They can't quite do it here with the magic damage alone. They look for another change, but the chain's unfortunately latching with the creeps behind them. So CDC will be able to get themselves away. But yeah, as you said, CDC is still definitely showing us that they have got quite a fight in them, and they're not going to make these high ground pushes easy for VG.
find those picks where they can. That's where just one pick suddenly gives CDEC the opening they need. They're close enough that if they get one kill like that on a Shaker, they will run at you and try and take that fight. And that's all Razor needs. It's like a kind of numbers advantage, and once he's found the Viper, he gets the static link off. No one else on Vici Gaming wants to go in and fight against a Razor who's stolen like 180 to 200 damage. It's going to be a losing recipe for Vici Gaming, so they have to sack a second hero. And we're seeing Vici Gaming really get tested here in game number 1, despite the fantastic start they had.
Yeah, and as we saw, Roshan is going to be back up in a minute, so maybe the next point of contention for these two sides. I mean, CDEC is all about the speed that they can take it, but at the same time, BG has certainly got the combo to execute in such a combined area. So they've got to be careful if CDEC want to go for it. VG themselves, I don't think they'll necessarily look for Roshan, so it's not going to be as quick as CDEC's takedown. I guess they've got a fair bit of right click on Burning. He has got the Skadi now as well, so I guess they can, but CDEC definitely with the speed, with the slot arm, or the negative armor that they have got running.
Vici Gaming is going for it very much like, we're so strong that you can't
Yes.
fight like that.
Oh, Garda. Yeah, they have now got the gem outside of VG. Global Silence as well, and Garda just losing half his health. It's the Sleight of Fist. They're going to try and move in with Shiki, though, blinking from aggressive. Wolf's been dropped by us, and now with the crease as well, but they looks like they will lose Femra. That's going to be the first casualty here, but now they're just cleaning up the damage coming out from the side of VG. Shiki's going to be held in place by the Cold Embrace. He may just be able to turn. He did still 224 damage here. Blink from aggressive again, getting the crush onto 2. Super melting pretty quickly. XE will get the kill there with the help of the team, and coming out on top. VG just on the retreat now. We're losing 2 heroes. Burning is still around to fight, but
And this time they
They're
learned
gonna
their
run.
lesson. They
Yeah.
back off.
they just stick without.
That's the exact fight they had early in the game, and then they chased on and ended up feeding kills. If they chased there, Burning would have just punished them with his items. So they win a really nice team fight. Everyone was just huddled up, grouped for the Winter's Curse, and really nice play there. The Razor's killing a lot of damage. Bristleback as well. If his Bristleback was a bit more fun, to fight like that was so heavily in CDEC's favor. He was just standing there, spamming quill after quill. Doesn't really have right-click damage items. It's one of these more utility defensive items, but you put one more item on this Bristle, and he's going to get very scary here in the late game. Except for Playmail, looks like he's going to be the AC buyer, which is actually pretty nice, because there's not really any obvious item that he can go. He's not going to be able to do, like, right-click damage with If he can get the AC, and Slider can then go, like, a different... It opens Slider up to maybe go for some more carry-based items as well. Shadowblade, it looks like.
Wait, wasn't Raze going for the AC this game?
Oh no, you're right, Raze.
Yeah, so I guess he's Shivas. Or maybe, I mean, is this a Lotus Sword gave the Bristle? Probably, I guess what,
Get rid
Viper
of
Strike really.
Silence?
Actually, maybe not. There's not really a huge amount of single target. Unless they're worried about a Hex coming out
Yeah.
potentially sooner from someone like ISO. Is he racking up the gold again on this Darkseer?
1500.
Okay, so it's still
I
a
think
way
you
away
can get
from
out
that,
of the
but-
global silence. Like, you can purge up silence with it. So
That's
that's
true,
pretty
yeah.
nice. Outside of that, not really. I feel like that's just way too much on these small utility guys. I'd like to sell it like Shivas.
It could be, as you said, the Shivas. I mean, as you said, he's lost a bit of intelligence this game anyway, so getting the intel back up with the Mystic Star is going to be nice for spamming out those quill sprays through the entirety of the fight. We see CDEC moving in now. FY, what's his reaction going to be? He's going to have to make a decision quick. Global Silence comes out. Ice with the wall onto 3. The Fish to follow, but now Echo Slam comes out, but it doesn't matter because aggressive BKB is just punching away FY. The bashes are real. He'll find one. Now the Amplify Super, and Shiki's just stealing a hell of a lot of damage. Every fight we're just seeing Shiki get such an efficient static link off. They've found 2. Burning still trying to fight through the back of this. Q's going to be healed up by the Cold Embrace, and they'll just go straight in onto Burning. If they got the damage hit to control him, oh, he will get the Remnant out. But again, CDEC showing us what they can do. Size. Playing ball here with aggressive, but it looks like he's just going to go for the retreat. Aggressive won't chase him down, but 2 clean kills there for the side of CDEC and not losing anything. And these swings, absolutely insane here for the side.
Yeah. 3,000 gold. Everyone gets
777, hitting the jackpot off the back of that fight. And I mean, talking about they get Roche as well. I mean, that's the thing. They take a fight like this, they go for Roshan. There's no way that VG can be able to contest it with 2 heroes off the map. And CDEC are really coming back into this game at the moment. 45 minutes in.
It's really tanky enough that even when Ice hits these incredible vacuum walls, the illusions just don't do enough damage. Like, it's not like any of these heroes right-click that hard. They're very reliant on their spells. Bristleback, it's all about the Warpath and Quill Sprays. Razor is having static link as well as Eye of the Storm. Slider, you're not really right-clicking all that hard. It's all about the amp damage plus crush. So missing illusions, these heroes are not a big deal.
Ooh, Cheeky. Doing the damage, it's going to be enough to hold Burning back. Realizing he can't really go for this.
Burning really needs to be there for
Mid
the
lane.
damage.
XE is he's going a little bit ham here. He is incredibly tanky though. And with the pipe as well, it's taking time to kill him. They get the changer, but he's been glimmercated, cold and braced up as well. They can't kill this bristleback. He's back up to 2,000. He's taking a lot of punches. I mean, Garda's coming through. They'll pick him up aggressive now with a crush onto the Earthshaker, the Winter's Curse as well. They'll find one. They do get the vacuum up, and Burning Jungle over the cleave damage here. Finds the kill onto XE. They'll look for Garda as well. He's been cold and braced up again by Q. Aggressive now moving off to the side. Eyesight trying to get him with the Iron Shells here. And now it's Cheeky moving in with the BKB. Gets off the Static Link, chasing down Super here. Against getting a hell of a lot of damage. Fenrir just melts the right. He's now aggressive with a Blink Rush onto Super and onto Burning. The chains are there though. He'll lose the Aegis on aggressive. Cheeky again being kind of braced up. Q this fight being the absolute MVP, and Cheeky's going to try and chase it, so there'll be the blink away just in time from Eyesight's Ice. But once again, CDEC just taking these fights, and we saw Bristle just sit in front of 5 heroes for a good 30 seconds. They just couldn't kill him.
The sustain is absolutely insane. It really feels like Vici Gaming are lacking damage, and that's with an Ember with Daedalus, Battle Fury, the Scotty, not really a damage item, but at least should be able to slow these heroes down. Viper, maybe the hero that should have gone for more right-click damage. The Manta Ags is very just defensive and passive as far as his item build is concerned. The Axe Viper Strike is great to be able to spam your ultimate out, but...
Oh, if they catch out Burning here as well. Aggressive's coming in. He's looking for some action with the Shadow Blade, but he won't get the initiation in time. He'll run him out.
Again, the 2 hero combo kind of
Might not have, yeah. He's very tanky with that
and I
Scarlet.
think Razor was going in trying to bait, like thinking, oh, I'll cast Static Link, and if I can steal like 100 damage, then you crush.
Yes. Or maybe, I mean, there's a half health point. Maybe he's kind of wondering if there'd be aggressive remnants into a fight against Razor. That would have worked very nicely for CDEC.
And that play there is where the Shadow Blade comes into play, because you can catch the Ember with a Shadow Blade initiation like that and completely catch him by surprise. The Blink kind of works, but if they've got ward vision or if it's daytime, he may see you coming and be able to react. Shadow Blade Crush is guaranteed to land. If you blink in, there's like that time where you may be an opportunity to remnant away.
And I was going to say, we've seen Burning. He's normally on top of that. He's very quick with the reactions.
Even there, just panicking at the sight of one Razor running at him. If there's a 600 HP Razor running at you, he's doing it for a reason. He's not just going to offer you his life for no return, so...
I mean, do you feel we are getting to that point of the game? We were talking earlier about the late game potential of both. We talked that obviously they've got Burning. He's the definitive kind of late game core here for Vici, but other than that, they've got a lot of setup, a lot of wombo combo. But you look at CDEC in terms of just sustainability and frequency of the fights, they've got pretty much a 3-man core here that can just run to the front of the fight with the Bristleback, the Razor, and the Slardar. And it just seems to be a little bit too much for Vici to deal with at this point of the game.
Yeah, it really feels like Burning needs another item or two. He's got the money for an MKB, which he's going to pick up now, so can deal with the Bristleback evasion. I think that's it. There's going to be a Solar Crest as well on the cusp. So they've got Halberd as well as to be Solar Crest. Butterfly would have been a good item pick up this game for Shiki, I feel, against both Viper and Ember, although now he's going to be determined to MKB. But Ember needs this MKB and maybe even one more damage item. I still stand by Vici Gaming having the better late game.
Yep.
The sustain's been there for now, but you throw another damage item on Ember, you hit the vacuum side of Fist, you're looking at a team fight 1. Not to mention what an Earthshaker can do. You've got Global Silence on your side. Unfortunately, Silence not going for Midas. Not to say it was. I think he went for like a nice safe build. This game means we're not going to be seeing a refresher at any point in this game. And CDEC are just holding on to their BKBs, their Guardian Greaves, just to get out of that Global Silence. Like every time they go into something like a Tusk and there's been a Silence, he always just grieves off and then gets the Snowball out. So we're seeing CDEC play around the Global Silence really well, and that's, I think, been their probably strongest point this game.
Yeah, absolutely. It was kind of a rough and rocky early game. There's a point where I believe it was like 14 for 4 on the scoreboard for VG, but CDEC really keeping themselves. In terms of the net worth, how much of a swing back round have we seen? Obviously, Burning's farm is still pretty impressive, and he's pretty much the 6k that is the lead there for VG. So other than that, very, very close. And the XP difference, tries to swing back around the fact that Burning, he's pretty much capped out. I think he's closing in. Yeah, he is 25, so yeah, XP growth's going to slow down here for Vici, and we're obviously going to see CDC's turn back up. But we could be kind of in for a very, very close late game here, and certainly in a match that still has the potential to go either way at this point, 50 minutes in.
And I mean, you look at some of the support farm, it's Silencer who's not going to have a refresher at any time, and a Wyvern with 10k net worth, he's got all kinds of high impact utility items, 4-star, Vlads, Glimmer Cape, these all offer a lot in a team fight. On top of that, you've got the CDEC Tusk, who's also got a Glimmer Cape as well as Guardian Greaves. So there's, and if you get a Solar Crest with this, suddenly even against the MKB of the Ember, just the bonus armor can help out. Vici Gaming could be in for some trouble because of all the useful items that these CDEC supports are going to have in a fight. If you can't get to them, which is not easy to do with them just sitting far back. biding their time before they come into a fight.
And it looks like at the moment, VG, they're going to be very, very careful about these fights that they take at this point. They've got to make sure that they're in a situation where they've got the full 5 mana. Even at that, CDC are going to feel very comfortable just turning around and fighting back into them.
A bit of a strange smoke from Vici game, but they will have another one, it looks like, for Roshan. Because normally at this stage of the game, you always want to save a smoke for the round when Rosh is coming back up. Either not normally to sneak Rosh, but to try and win a fight off of your smoke and then go into Roshan afterwards, which can lead into like that game-winning or Rax ending kind of push. So unsuccessful smoke to start things off, but they've still got one more to fall back on. And CDEC themselves, I believe, no smoke on hand for a couple of minutes, more than half minutes in fact, but that'll be around when Rosh comes back up, depending on the respawn.
Yeah, and it's very much in these kind of styles of games where around 52 minutes, we can expect the frequency of fights to drop, because both teams know that one bad fight at this point is going to bring you very close to spelling the end of the game for your side. So they've got to play it very, very safely. Obviously, the fact we just saw the Viper now with the AC, so VG certainly racking up the auras and in a position where they'll have to be able to counteract that as the Razors. But they've both just got to be very careful about the next fight that they find themselves in.
Ice is actually building up towards what I can only imagine to be a refresher. Lotus Orb, so-so. Has some playmaking potential, especially against the Winter's Curse, but...
What was, has got anything on the Curry at the moment coming in on the Radiant? No, it's just a CPC, but okay.
But a refresher, like...
That's going to be fun, refreshers.
Yeah, like having the double vacuum, I feel like the 2 vacuums is more important than the 2 walls. The illusions is just being like decent, not great, but 2 vacuums in quick succession could be massive when you've got Ember Spirit in your team. But of course, the double wall, double shivers, there's lots of other nice things that you can play around as well. So we'll see what CDEC look to do. They've got a lot of money on Shiki. They're holding on to buybacks now, and with Rosh coming up, both teams will be looking to more likely than not save for buyback rather than try and pick up any new items. Back himself a little bit short of buyback, so be careful here. Has been scattered out. This is actually dangerous spot for
I mean, we have seen how long it takes them to kill a Bristleback. Let's see if they can do it a bit quicker this time. Jumping straight in, the fish is nice as well. Going to force XE to walk around the long way. Global Silence comes out, and we are seeing CDC turn up to the fight, and again, they just can't kill XZ. They're barely getting below half health here. Now it's time to go on to Super. She can move in, but there's the wall and the vacuum, but the follow-up's just not there. The Global has come out, but the BKB's popped by Shiki. They're just going to wait this one out from the sidelines here. Link forward from Ice, trying to chase down aggressive, but he's got the Shadow Blade. Get the chains onto 2 here. The Echo Slam follow-up as well, but the Winter's Curse comes out. Return. FY is going to get killed by Burning. Burning gets punched up in the air. They're trying to chase this down. Garden might be the first to fall, but he's going to be able to keep himself up the top of the life, but he still goes down. They'll find him there with the poison from Viper, so it's a 1-for-1 so far. Burning looking for XZ here, but the Quill Spray's now stacking up. Aggressive, gets closer to Burning. Burning gets forced off away from the fight here. 1-1 at the moment. CDEC want to try and go back in.
Off. 2 static links in a row missed by Shiki makes it really hard for them to actually dish out good, like, burst damage. And if you want to be able to kill this Ember before he like slight dodges your spells, remnants away, you've got to have the burst damage from a Blink Crush amp with Razor right click. So really nice use of the force up there by Vici Gaming as well as the vacuum. That first fight around this Ancients, if that was a static link from the Shiki that lasted, got him 100, 200 damage, he may have just won the fight off of that. Once they lose that static link, they have to back off. And then the second one comes out, immediately countered again by a 4-staff. So despite that, Vici Gaming didn't really feel like they were able to accomplish a whole lot.
There we go though for the next fight, ready. So they're ready to roll. Refresher orb here for Ice. Yeah, I think as you said, we're seeing every fight the CDEC have come out on top, they've got the good static link off. If they don't get a good static link off, I mean, they don't die, but they don't kill anyone.
I think that's where Razor really is often that static link target, and he's suffering in these fights. He's not dishing out much damage at all. His items don't help him deal damage. He gets static links. He's only got 170 damage. Often we're seeing 100 to 200 damage stolen out of them. So very much, I think the game plan has been like Super telling his teammates, like, as soon as I get static link, just 4-staff me, double, triple 4-staff me, whatever it takes, get me out of that static link. I don't care if I end up in the middle of 5 heroes. I'm tanky. I can deal with their damage. We just can't deal with a beefy Razor.
Absolutely. And it's understandable why they looked to fight there. It was just before Roshan respawned, so now with Rosh back up, both teams are going to want to try and take it here. Top lane's being pushed in by Burning. He's got a lot of money now on top of the MKB. I mean, what's the next progression? I guess just sells the Akila and picks up a further damage item. But what do you get now to maximize the damage output of this Ember?
If you're feeling desperate, you go Rapier. If you're not, you go Daedalus. And it also depends how vulnerable you feel. Like, he's died once this entire game, and that was so long ago that it doesn't really feel like CDEC have the heroes to bring him down, so he may feel safe enough to go for a race, even though they're not playing that far behind. They may actually feel like they're behind now, because all of the last like 15 to 20 minutes of team fights have been CDEC favored, so despite the net worth difference favoring Vici Gaming, I don't feel like Vici Gaming right now in their minds feel like they're ahead. They're not accomplishing much. All these team fights, they're trading like 1 for 2 quite poorly. They're not bringing down any of the core heroes. They've got a big Razor problem right now. So if anything, I could see Burning well in the mindset that maybe I need a Rapier. If it's not that, Daedalus is kind of the other option.
Oh, an absolutely good dream at this point. CDEC though smoked up, ready to contest Roshan. See who finds the jump here. There's no dive vision at the moment in the Radiant jungle, but there is. And then neither any Radiant vision over on the Dire side.
KenXC just runs off by himself, using
I
himself
mean,
as
are they
bait.
going to try and con him again? It's not gone too greatly the last few times. They'll try it again. But they're a little bit aware that he's probably bait here. Just super front lining. Very careful. Actually, he's been glimmered up. Crush from aggressive. In comes Ice Ice. 3-man wall of the slide, doing a fair bit of damage onto the side of CDEC. They get the Fisher out as well. Snowball straight in onto Burning. They'll look to try and control the Ember Spirit, but they can't get close again. Ice Ice with the second vacuum wall here. CDEC got to be very careful, but they still blink around it, trying to work around these walls. Now the Winter's Curse onto Ice. He gets forced stuffed away from Burning. Burning still with a slight away at Garda. Garda's on the side of the fight. XC's trying to lead in with the goo. So she gets dropped again. Burning moving in for Garda. FY gets the TP cancelled onto Shiki, and with Super's help, they'll find themselves the first kill of this fight. Shiki now down for 90 seconds. You've got Q only just escaping across the tree line. FY and Ice wanting to try and find him here. He's going to be fine. He lands. I don't think they're going to be able to predict that he's in this position. So it does just end up at the moment, at least with Shiki being the only one to die. Aggressive's coming back in with a Shadow Blade.
Somehow like eluded all the important heroes. I think knowing that they're in Roshan and he may find
I mean, he is on his own now. Especially as the Vici want to continue to try and go for it. They get themselves in front of Burning stand up. They want to kill this Bristleback. Snowball from Garda coming in, but the vacuum's there. Grease being popped by Garda. He tries to walk this off. So does XE as well. They try to chase down both, but Aggressive turns in with a 2-man crush. The heal from Q onto XE, going to top him back up with a cold embrace. Garda punches up Fenrir, but Super now with the damage onto Garda will find him. Burning did manage to finish off the kill onto Q on that Winter Wyvern, and now they're setting up the final finish here to get XE on this Bristleback, and they do. He's now down for 110 seconds, does not have buyback available on the Bristle, and VG this time playing the fight smart enough to easily come out on top from CDEC.
They don't overcommit. They like the first vacuum wall come, and they can do this because they have the refresh on Darkseer. So Ice throws the vacuum wall very liberally. He got maybe 2 heroes down to about 2/3 to 3/4 HP. But it doesn't matter because he's got a second wind, and that's where CDEC got completely caught by surprise. The second one comes out, and again, we saw Razor knock the technically off. He had 7 kills of damage that fight, which wasn't going to cut it. Got completely kited around. Knew he was in the bad spot and went for the TP out, which got cancelled, and CP Gaming now finds himself on the high ground. Into late tracks here.
Look at the damage. Burning with his butterfly now complete as well. He went all in on it. There's not a lot the CDEC can do to that, and there's still 60 seconds without having this Bristleback. A very painful time for them at the moment, especially when VG are going to look to try and get this middle lane pushing in as well.
Not sticking around, that's a bit surprising, but that Bristleback has a competitive one. And I like this. Ice pushes out top and immediately like surge blink. He's headed right back towards the pit, but
Aggressive here. He's going to need a fair few bashes there if he wants to try and find this kill. There's one. Now with the TP coming in from, I imagine it to be Burning, and it is. He's going to be coming out in time for Aggressive. Started turn, Global Silence comes out here. Going to force CDEC against fighting this. Maybe it's going to be Shiki in trouble now. Has to pop his BKB himself. Looks for the walk-off. Burning saving the chains. He's going to go for it. They're going to look to follow through here onto Shiki. Shiki getting forced away, but now here comes Ice jumping straight into the middle of 3 heroes, and they see Echo Sound from FY. They've found Q on the Wyvern. FY trying to chase down Garda, but they've got the Glimmer Cave. It's fine though. They've got the Vision and Remnanting forward. They'll find Garda as well there on the Tusk. 2 quick pickoffs there from the side of VG. And CDEC trying to fight without the Bristleback, and it doesn't work out. Gems on the deck as well here.
and just much more controlled play again, much like the last fight. Bernie just waits the BKB, catches the chain. Nice side, holds it back.
Vici aren't done, maybe. About XD, I mean, at this moment he's just a distraction. They know it's going to take a long time to kill him. They're going to focus on the rack stage. He's only back aggressive with the slides. Nice, gets the vacuum onto XC. Vici, they'll keep the priority straight. They'll look for the mid racks they've got it. So 2 sets of racks now down on the side of CDEC, and still 30 seconds or so before they've got the full roster back in the game. Get a nice steady link onto Super. So he gets forced up the way. Now jumping from Burning. Burning has taken a hell of a lot of damage here. Will lose the Aegis. Aggressive has to walk it off back to base though, and here's your wall and vacuum onto Shiki. They just want to try and get rid of this Razor here. 5 heroes surrounding the Razor. Shiki to fall. 90 seconds on the clock. This should be mega creeps, and it will be GG as well. CDEC certainly put up a fight there, bringing the game to 61 minutes. A very admirable attempt from the team, but Vici with the early game lead, Burning's impeccable farm, ending on a 37,000 net worth value on this Emma Spirit. And some great play overall from the side, but both sides, CDEC, they definitely deserve a shout out for that performance.
I couldn't believe they brought it back as much as they did. They were so far behind, they were versing such a good late game team.
So much Odie and Gods. As we cut back to the panel now, I'm back with Merlini, I'm back with Shiver, and well, a marathon of a game. About an hour in, it takes Vici Gaming to finally claim game number 1, but what a roller coaster of a ride it was. You gotta remember at the very start, Vici Gaming had the stronger lanes, Ice on his Darkseer, farmed out of control, but eventually they just couldn't seem to close it out. They got right up to the doorstep of CDEC, but eventually these big bad bruisers were able to itemize, and they were able to withstand the pesky vacuum wall and the chains coming out from Burning, and they gave them a run for their money. But it wasn't until the very end that finally Vici Gaming, a bit more disciplined, you get your refresher on Ice, and they managed to turn the game back and around. What do you think that we took away from that, Merlini? It was one hell of a roller coaster.
I think that if CDEC had a little bit stronger laning phase, they would have actually done really, really well. But you could kind of tell that it was going to go that way after their BKB started wearing down, just because they can't deal with the vacuum wall twice. It's a bunch of melee heroes, too, that can't really get around it that easily. So Ember was just doing way too much damage in the late game.
There was a time where Burning rotated, got an ultra kill mid, cleanup crew, basically. It wasn't too long into the game, and then at some point, the fight after that, it happened the other way around. Razor actually got a triple kill, and I think from that point onward, at that point, if you are CDC, you have to continue to snowball, you have to continue winning the fights, otherwise you're coming in a situation where they ended up in, and they just don't have the late game to deal with the late game of Vici, because based on lineups, they're probably not going to win it if they're even skilled, and at that point, I have to point out though, they did look very even skilled. They were definitely a match for each other.
They made, I believe that fight also was when they made that committed 3-on-1 jump for the Bristleback, and they couldn't bring him down fast enough, and the Quill stacked up too much. And by that point,
Blade
the Razor
Mail
came
too.
in. Yeah,
I like the Blade Mail build a lot versus the Viper especially. So it was overall pretty good. I think better than I expected from CDC. I didn't think their draft was as good. I think it was workable. And then after I saw early game, I was just like, God.
I mean, you're gonna give Darkseer a lane against the Bristleback. I mean, that's a dream lane. You get a solo melee lane rather, solo lane. You can do whatever he wants to, and then it's not just a farm Darkseer. It is a Ice Darkseer.
He had some
Good
sick
luck.
Vacuum walls.
He had insane vacuum walls.
Yeah,
it was
really
brilliant
good
to watch.
Darkseer. And Burning played pretty well, I think, too.
Yeah. I actually was surprised how well he was able to bring the game back. I thought, oh, they're going to put all of the weight on the back of this Burning Ember. Would it be enough? And, well, it's Burning, and he proved me wrong again and was able to do it. So with that, Vici Gamer are going to be claiming game number 1. And we'll have to see if CDC are going to keep this 1-1 draw trade going, or if finally Vici Gamer are going to be able to break through and get to the top of the group with a 2-0 run. We'll find out in just a moment as we cut to a small break. We'll return for game number 2 of Vici Gaming going against CDEC. We'll see you soon.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
The undying wakes. Spirit Breaker.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Was off that whole time. Oh, everybody did not turn on their mics. We all were just chatting to
Hello.
no one. Hi, everyone, we're here. And he didn't hear it. I made a great call for the Undying. That
And
happened.
You were
Brood
just copying
too.
off Cheater.
Whatever,
Brood
dude.
too.
And then I said, Brood could come out.
Yeah, yeah,
Man,
yeah, you did.
I
you
would have
did.
looked so good.
Oh.
Now
Oh my
it's all
god, I can't believe
gone.
that we all forgot
Wow.
to do that.
Well, to be honest, we shouldn't have been doing it.
True. Okay,
That happens.
VP 2-0 Mineski. LGD has the first game against Fnatic. I could go into more detail, but the draft is now so far on the way that it doesn't. Yeah, let's not waste words on that one. I was saying Undying, yes, as Ben said while he was muted. Undying is a really good hero to have against the playstyle of CDEC.
So now
5 seconds
CDC
remaining.
need to take measures to deal.
People love Broodmother versus CDEC because it already,
Reserve
like,
time.
I don't think CDC is the strongest in the laning phase, as well as it phase, as well as it phase, as well as it
It's a bit of space for Ember Spirit to get some extra farm up. That stage so that he might be able to, well, to take over when Brute falls off, or when Undying falls off rather.
CDC are not a team to pick this, but I would love to see an Axe come out. You know, just be a badass.
They've been doing some different stuff though. I wouldn't be terribly surprised if they would.
I mean, aggressive Axe. That's just a name that fits the hero.
Does
Gotta happen. But we'll see. There's only
Depending on the safe lane try, and then the queen mid, and then XC in the off lane with the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah.
back to Vici Gaming now. Still need to get another support here. And obviously we're still gonna have to get that superhero here in the mid lane.
10 seconds remaining.
Bans out on the Viper already. Leads me to believe that maybe Vici Gaming had planned for
5
something
seconds
that
remaining.
requires a bit more mobility. Curious to see who it could be. Razor, possible standout here.
Reserve time.
Shadow Fiend had been banned. Maybe Alina.
I would
still in
say
the pool and
Alina.
available.
I really like Super Alina. Again, I feel like it fits his playstyle. He's normally, I would normally consider him one of the more farm-heavy mids.
Lena's decent, but I think she might get rolled in the mid lane because of the Spirit Breaker. Like Undying's a hero that can't really sit there and babysit the queen. So I think that it's like big weak point in their lineup.
So do you need to get a mid laner who could be pretty elusive?
Are you gonna go for Viper again?
I've been banned out.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I don't know. I don't think that CDEC has a good enough brood counter though to kind of like roam with the Spirit Breaker that much. But at the same time, it's kind of like their main focus. I think it would be shutting down the Lina, and it would be very possible with that.
10 seconds
Like the
remaining.
fun little Rubik grab here from Vici Gaming. Obviously going against an Earthshaker, you get your
5
prized Fissure to
seconds
steal.
remaining.
Dazzle has plenty to offer. Telekinesis Lift is good against a charging Spirit Breaker. And then you always can get that quick blink from a Queen of Pain. So very well rounded. And we know Vici Gaming to play a pretty mean Rubik, whether it's FY or Fenrir. They both have a lot of experience with the hero.
I prefer FY. I
Why is
have
that?
my preference.
Oh, the FY God Rubik?
FY God Rubik.
I can't fault you on that one.
No,
Maybe
there's
Slardar? I don't know.
Yeah, Slardar could help you get the amp damage to kind of scout out this Broodmother. You
They
put
can't
that
leave
together.
him alone though.
that's
but
a
10
problem.
Not like
I
something
think.
fun like a Zeus to put together with the
Nah.
Spirit Breaker. That
I
used to be a
wish, but
thing.
they don't have
5
enough.
seconds
They don't have any.
remaining.
They're going all in, baby.
It's something like a gyro
Reserve
still an option.
time.
Like go for the Slardar in
Nice
the end.
call, buddy.
Yeah.
Slardar is going to be coming out here, but possibly not your typical offlane Slardar that we've been seeing
Does
so
that mean
far.
that Vici can go a bit more greedy with their mid, knowing that there will be very few, apart from Spirit Breaker rather, few. I was gonna say greedy with mid. Not a lot of rotations.
Black Invoker. No, I'm just kidding.
Ah,
Super
only.
Invoker, of course, going to be coming out here. Fun grab. We don't get to see this one very often.
fairly greedy as well,
Yeah. It's a bit greedy.
but
It's fine though. I don't really see that much wrong with it. It's a good matchup versus Queen. They're not really worried about getting too out late game because Slardar and Queen are like decent. They're not like amazing, whereas Ember I think is pretty good, and it can kind of lend some support to the Invoker or to the Broodmother's lane with Sunstrike. But it's also really good at kiting the Shallow Grave with Tornado.
he can dodge the gank from the Spirit Breaker. He doesn't have to worry too much about the Dazzle and Earthshaker, as we already pointed out. So he should be having a decent time. It's all about that Brood lane, though. I feel like
Yeah,
if the
it
Brood
is.
fails, if the Brood
10
dies too
seconds
much
remaining.
and not gets a
Yeah.
little bit of farm, it's gonna, their plan is just gonna fall. It's like a
5
dominoes.
seconds.
Invoker's also really good versus Spirit Breaker game. Though he's
Yeah.
like one of the heroes that can lane versus Queen if you get like one Exort, and then you can always like Cold Snap or Tornado the Spirit
Or
Breaker.
Invis.
Or Invis. Yeah, you can do so many
Yeah.
things. Whereas like Lina is like you don't have any of those defensive capabilities to be able to help him out whenever.
Yeah.
Well,
Her
Seal has to go here. We're going to hop into Two handsome casters. It's going to be Odie Pixel and Mr. Gods. Take it away, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Dakar. Indeed, CDEC versus Vici. It may have been a long day here at the Nanyang Championships, but there's no getting tired, especially when we've got a game where has Vici on some of their signature heroes. We're going to see an lineup, which we know is the exact kind of play style that these guys revel on.
Yeah, absolutely. And like pulling out the ISS Brood, I think something that caught CDEC a bit by surprise with the Undying first pick, which has typically been his hero. So they probably went into those two picks at the start, not really anticipating a Brood, and something which I don't really feel like they've got the best draft of dealing with. They need with CDEC.
On top lane already, so it's going to be this XZ up here at the moment on the Shaker. They dig the ward down. It's been
Like they've got the best draft of dealing with. They need with CDEC.
on top lane already, so it's going to be this XZ up here at the moment on the Shaker. They dig the ward down. It's been
Burning often in those situations will go for the more conservative play,
Yes.
which is hold your main go, you keep your HP regen, and just make sure you, even if you don't get the kill, you still get it down to low HP and likely lead to just winning the
I'm
lane.
going to charge, but that's why you save the chains apparently. It's for the counter charge. Very nicely done by Burning. Going to keep himself safe.
Now he's still got HP regen, he's going to pick up a bottle to go with his boots, so he's going to be able to easily stay in this lane.
Keep linking in aggressively onto Super here. Get the right clicks through as well. There's a fair few creeps going in on him. Now with this charge on Super, I don't know if Super can get out of this one.
Going for a screen, no, he's going to go for the right clicks, and yeah, Super's just done for.
Alright, the regen is not going to be enough, is it? Oh, blinks forward. Oh, he's
Charge
still
damage,
getting...
could be close.
Yeah, the magical bash through should do it, shouldn't it? Oh, no, he turns around and calls Super! Okay, they still get it because Shiki finds it, but it does now allow them to get guard in return. But Super nearly being flashy enough to live through that. That would have been quite something.
Stayed, and
Yeah.
there was also the 30% miss chance going uphill.
Oh, yeah.
So
Ooh,
by
this
no
is
means an
nice invis room from FY hit. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, don't walk past him. You want to go? Oh, okay. I guess they didn't quite. Yeah, it wasn't going to be enough anyway. Femra didn't have enough mana for the clap or anything. Right, there was nothing around.
pretty aggressive early game coming out from the Spirit Breaker especially, who's already applied a lot of pressure bottom, top, and now mid. So we're seeing CDEC's Garden just go absolutely everywhere here in the early game. Next charge headed top. I don't really see a way they get a kill off of this. There's no Queen of Pain. If Queen of Pain had like a TP with a Sonic Wave, possibly, but Ember's full HP. This is just kind of like
I don't think XC's even got enough mana here for the Fisher, has he? He's a little bit. Oh, he's going to have enough in a few seconds, but FY's there. I should just cancel it here as Bunning tries to chase him back out.
Just looking to zone out, maybe force a teleport down to the top lane. Keep the supports busy and like okay, we're gonna stay top because otherwise Burning's gonna keep getting crushed and ganked. But here we go. This time Queen of Pain does rock up.
This is the go time. Here's your charge again. It's going to go through straight onto the Ember here. The question is, do they dive this tower?
They know it's coming though. They saw with the ward.
Well, everyone's going to be there with the telekinesis cancel. Tossing guard her back, and Shiki and the gang aren't going to be able to find anything here. So maybe going a little over aggressive there on that top lane. I mean, they don't lose anything, but at the same time, it's wasted time for Shiki. They are giving levels to Dazzle in the mid lane, but it's giving a lot of space for Super to catch back up on the Invoker.
Yeah, so, yeah, Super's going to be pretty happy now. The Queen of Pain not really out last hitting or even out leveling the Invoker so much anymore. And for the bottom lane, Brood's now had that kind of easy lane that you've been waiting for. Aggressive alone. Has the amp damage, so if we ever catch this vision of Ice, Lifers will look for a charge into an amp damage play, and here comes Spirit Breaker once more, dust in hand. It's a very risky position to be in for Ice.
Let's have a look what he does in response. They will spot it out with these dire observer wards, but I don't know if he can get himself back to safety quick enough. He realizes he's being charged now with the amplifier as well. Yeah, XY, Mr. Ice in a lot of trouble. The physical damage from the crush and the shadow wave far too much here for this Broodmother.
That's something that's always going to happen around this stage to Brood from time to time. Playing against Spirit Breaker, who's one of the better heroes at dealing with a Brood. And it feels like the way you've got to deal with a Brood nowadays is less about picking up an AoE hero to counter the Spiderlings and much more about having a hero that can find and kill the Brood. Spirit Breaker's great. Storm used to be a top pick against Brood. And heroes that can actually isolate, find Brood. Batrider's another fantastic example. These kind of heroes is what you need against Broodmother, more than like having an axe or something.
Aggressive just popping out the amplifiers on this bottom lane, trying to keep tabs on both Ice, Sam, Femra. We're going to see a charge coming in again. This time it's going to be looking for the Dirge. And just going to keep himself back. The charge is going to be held off here, not wanting to dive too deep. Mid lane, a bit of action going on by the looks of it, just trading hits. Shiki getting incredibly low. Does have a Sonic Wave. He's looking to try and get Super in a position where he could finish him off with a quick burst. But CS-wise, 27-16 on Shiki and 27 on Super. So even though Shiki did leave the lane, he's still maintaining a reasonable lead here in the CS department.
Always kind of a how fast can you Blink Dagger up when you've got the Slider on your team, and they haven't got the best late game for the side of CDEC, so they want to be applying pressure early. Every kind of 2 seconds we look around, Spirit Breaker's charging someone new. And
okay, he holds off this time, yeah.
it's crazy how much he's done
But
with these
there's
charges.
5 people on the side of CDC coming towards the mid lane. I mean, Aggressive's moving in with an invis, looking for the crush on 2. He's going to find it. Now there's the blink for the Sonic Wave. The Scream's beautiful. Super pops. They'll look for Femra here as well. He pops the stick charge. He's trying to get himself out. XE set up to the fight. So's Burning and FY. They're going to change onto 2. Burning to a lot, but here's it. They've got the control of the enchant, the aftershock passive. They control the Ember Spirit. They'll find him. And the 5 heroes of CDEC remain alive. The Weave's starting to tick up the armor. They try to turn around for the kill, but he just doesn't come out. Q even gets on the Shower Grave. He's going to be able to walk it off. Double kill for Shiki. And some beautiful play there from CDEC, just juggling themselves around Vici, keeping themselves alive, and getting away with those kills in spectacular fashion.
It's like some CIS style Dota watching. 8 minutes in, 5-man diving at T1 tower. And this is exactly what their lineup has to do, because this lineup will get crushed in the late game. If Vici Gaming even survived to like 25 minutes and they're close to even on farm, I think CDEC just lose this game. And that's where playing this aggressive this early on is exactly what you've got to do. Invoker really weak at this stage. Very much a level-dependent hero who needs lots of points in the class and the Wex before Tornado EMP really becomes relevant. Ember's pretty good at fighting at this stage, but then you've got heroes like Rubik and Brood who can't come to the fight all too easily. Only now we see the web start stringing their way to mid lane. I think that's something that's going to be an important point for Ice is to be able to help out in the mid. He's got a decent kind of line of webs, and he needs to just kind of continue that should these fights happen around the mid lane again.
Yeah, and the smoke up here from the side of VG, they want to look for some kind of return aggression. They brought Burning down for this one, along with FY, but it's just aggressive in the lane at the moment here, and he's playing fairly safely. It's again this awareness. Aggressive realizes there's heroes off the map, and he knows they're going to be looking for him, so they're not going to be able to find anything down here. They'll now turn their attention towards the mid lane, maybe see if they can have a go on Shiki. They need to have the lead. They still don't have any points to Sleight of Fist here for Burning, so they're going to rely on the Remnants to close that gap.
That was really nice awareness coming out from aggressive at bottom. Managing to avoid that one. I feel this is like unnecessarily kind of aggressive coming out from Vici Gaming themselves, because if they go like underneath the tower at the tier 1 mid or the tier 2 bottom, the TP turnaround is going to be insane, and that's something that which they don't have an answer to. The Spirit Breaker will charge in. Queen of Pain's got the mobility from Blink. Sprint is available for Slider. Like, there is so much potential from CDEC. They will punish any kind of a dive.
Well, I see CDEC, they're going to go for a smoke themselves. And I have a feeling that it's got a high percentage chance of being a little bit more profitable than that of VG's.
I
catch anyone out here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fortunate for Burning.
I guess I mean, the start of the gaming.
Yeah, it did.
Until the
It looked like they
rocked up, it was like, okay, they went on Burning, but he didn't die to physical damage first, and slightly off the mark there. But having the short cooldown still seems to be a big deal here on this Sonic Wave. Whenever they don't have this Sonic Wave, that's when Vici Gaming are getting the most out of the game. They're getting the tier 1 mid tower. They're winning that fight right after that kind of failed game top lane. So CDEC, I think, really could still benefit from the Ags. If not the Ags, maybe we see him kind of transition more into a carry, because he probably is a little bit concerned about their lack of late game here and may want an AC.
I mean, a good timing on the Hex for the Ember. Do you think that's an option, or
On the Queen of Pain?
on the Queen of Pain? Yeah, to deal with Burning.
Yeah, I guess if you want to have a initiation to bypass the Manta and also bypass like a potential 4-staff if you're going the Invoker, it's nice, but I think I'd like to see him stop off either for the Ag Scepter or the AC first. I just feel like they're not in desperate need for a Hex until maybe his 4th big item.
Okay.
And Roche back up now. CDC should be able to secure this one, even with Spiderling scout them out, but
They could fight this.
in position for it.
See what they do here. They don't have Burning, but he should be able to TP himself in, of course, with the bots and join the cause. There's going to be a smoke up so they can close the gap here. The Spiders are spotted out. They're aware what's going on, CDC. They know that VG looking for a fight. The EMP and Tornado will come out. Going to catch on Q, though. CDC look to leave the pit and just put some pressure and get these lanes pushed back in.
A little bit lower. Maybe we'd see Ice try and poke their noses and take it out, but we see DC.
I mean, can VG jump in here? Still moving around the bottom here. Could be big. They drop the tombstone nicely on the high ground here. Burning going and getting the steering chains onto 2. Very nicely catching out CDC aggressive and Q. BKB will come out from the slaughter. No one yet to jump straight in onto each other. And, well, maybe Vici thinking about heading into the pit now. FY says, I got this. He starts to go to work here on the Roshan.
It's got about a 15-second window with the tombstone up, but I don't think it's going to be long enough. It just doesn't feel like they can do this with tombstone about to expire.
And they're going to go back. Yeah. XZ and Q are leading the way. VG wondering what the next attempt at defense is going to be here. Okay, we're seeing a charge, in fact, from Garda. Who's he going for? He's going straight across the battlefield. He's found Super and Fenrir as well. There's a Fisher onto 2 in the blink forward. They'll get Ice. The Brood's Mother's taken out of the fight. They will find Garda in return here. Question of if VG look for more here. Burning's going to catch whiff of XZ here. Oh, Echo Slam controlling him, and they get blown up there by the Shadow Wave. Heal Bomb, and now they're chasing down more. Amplify and Fenrir, there's your bash. Aggressive setting up more as he goes for the... And a triple kill for Q. This man's heal bomb's absolutely on point. FY's hiding in the trees. It's not going to save him, though. Throws out telekinesis. Cheeky aggressive with the gang in there. They'll find FY as well. It's a beautiful team play from the side of CDEC, and of course Q again on this Dazzle, getting that damage out. I mean, we always knew that the Dazzle Slider combo was a pretty proficient one, but just CDEC just executed absolutely perfectly. They're going to get Roshan off the back of this fight, and VG, as hard as they may have tried, they're going to be unable to stop CDEC from doing this.
Not often you see a 9-1 and 14 Dazzle. Like, normally Dazzle's a hero that notoriously has very low kill involvement. They'll be like 0-1 and like 7 or 8 assists, but this Dazzle has been this comboing with Slaughter and Spirit Breakers so well. And first in the lanes where they were just hitting the heal bombs with the charge and the crushes, and now even in the mid to late game. The minus armor is just destroying Vici Gaming. Like, that Ember just got pummeled into the ground by, like, I mean, the heal bomb did like a third of his HP, the crush did another quarter or so of it. It was just, he just has no answer for it. Especially if the weave lands, that's where you're in even more trouble.
And as you said, that you suggested that Shiki did go that way, has got AC as well. So this physical damage is going to be absolutely through. Just going to Shadow Blade up. He's going to have a TP in, and it's going to be go time here. Buying time for the Fisher to come through. I actually just blinked straight in. Fisher to the face. Sonic Wave from Shiki. Burning getting blown the hell up, and 60 seconds on the sideline now for this Ember Spirit.
He was really just trying to push his hero to the limit there. Take one more wave and then fire in and out, but it's a little bit too greedy. The kind of thing where you can't really fault him too much. He's feeling under so much pressure to create space for his team, and
Well, they're not done. They want more CDEC. They want Super. Super's going to throw out the Tornado. It will hold back the Spirit Breaker, but it's not going to hold back Aggressive. Jumps straight in with the Amplify. FY is there with the Telekinesis there, but Shiki pops the BKB. Moving forward, they blow up Fenrir. This damage is just too much. And they're going to go for more.
yeah.
He wants to find FY, and with the help of Aggressive, he will. Crush is there to set it up. The Bash also following through. 39-13, and CDEC pretty much showing us the kind of play style that got them to the position that they got to in TI5. This is some top-class play from the side.
I mean, this is even more aggressive than anything that came out. TI5 was much more like calculated, methodical. Let's go for a 5-man smoke here, get some pickoffs, push towers. This was dive tier 4s while their creeps were like over the river. They didn't have a creep wave anywhere nearby. And they're just completely YOLOing right at Vici Gaming, and, well, far enough ahead and with the heroes to kind of justify it.
Tier 3, tier 4. Showing him Burning back at oh, they just got no mercy straight in onto Burning. The Tornado will come up, it doesn't matter how aggressive got the BKB out. He just bashes Burning down. And they may even just find Super as well. They're going to be able to chase it down. He's going to be fine.
Good
Super
blink
coming
rod.
back through.
Here we go.
Okay, back in. Super dead. Ice trying to do what he can on the Brood, but it really hasn't been his game. He'll get taken down as well over the side of CDEC. Shiki just frontlining. No fear at all from the man, and blinking from Aggressive. We'll get to Japanese to just in time. They might just even fight Ferrino. He's got the Soul Rip to heal him back up. And Shiki, he just sits there on the front. He does not give a damn. We said he wouldn't die again, and only dying the once this game. What a performance from this man. And it's a recurring kind of theme, just seeing Quops dominating these games. You've got to respect this hero. And Vici, this game just didn't have the means to do with it. We were saying at the beginning, the draft was nice, signature hero, Super Invoker, but I mean, it wasn't Super.